At William Hill Vegas, we're bursting with entertainment. Introducing V-Play, where revealing rewards couldn't be easier. Play your usual slots and table games featuring the V-Play icon. And when the V-Play bar's full, you're ready to spin the wheel for cash prizes. V-Play, only at William Hill Vegas, bursting with entertainment. For GBP online accounts, use cash balance to play. Chance to spin and win prizes from 30p to £1,000 randomly awarded. Spin and claim within 7 days. T&Cs apply. 18 plus. Gamble aware.
Oh, Jamie's got a new car. He only passed his test last week. Chloe and the kids on the school run in their new hybrid, and the Flemings from 23 off to see their daughter at uni. Get car and van insurance that's right up your street at parkerscompare.com. Created by the experts at Parkers, we're 100% independent and dedicated to helping you find the right insurance policy. Quick and easy, you could compare quotes in just 5 minutes from some of the UK's leading providers. For car insurance comparisons you can trust, visit parkerscompare.com. Authorised and regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority. See website for details.
The Clyde One Super Scoreboard podcast with Lookers Group. Great value used vehicles with extra peace of mind built in. It's game day, and this is the home of Scottish football. It's Clyde One Super Scoreboard.
Good morning and welcome to Clyde One Super Scoreboard on a 6-game Sunday in the Scottish Premiership. Rangers are first up away to Hibs, looking to build on their convincing Old Firm win. Celtic have the chance to respond later when they host St Mirren. Motherwell Aberdeen comes in between, and you've got Kilmarnock, Ross County, St Johnstone, Dundee and Dundee United taking on Hearts. What more could you want in the company of Gordon Duncan, Mark Wilson and Hugh Keevins?
I'm calling it question mark Sunday. Can Rangers go to Easter Road and prove they've turned the corner on the back of that 3-0 win over Celtic and win away from home? Can Celtic prove that being rattled by Rangers at Ibrox has left them with no after effects? Can Jimmy Talleen avoid going 10 games without a win for ailing Aberdeen when they go to Motherwell? Can Jim Goodwin continue the Tannadice transformation and stay third in the table at the expense of Hearts? Can Ross County continue their revival at the expense of Kilmarnock? And finally, can St Johnstone disprove the theory they're beginning to look like the overwhelming favourites for the drop?
And has Gordon Dalziel stuck to his New Year's resolution? So many questions to be answered throughout the course of the afternoon. But on the pitch, Mark Wilson, what a day we have in store.
Oh, without doubt, a brilliant day of football ahead, and each game with its own story, and obviously all eyes on Easter Road just now, where Rangers try to build on that great performance against Celtic and great result. Can they win away from home? A task that doesn't come easy to Philip Clement's side, and all across the country, big games.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think Hugh summed it up absolutely perfectly there. A lot of important games. We'll get plenty of action, plenty of excitement, and hopefully plenty of goals.
Already people are getting in touch, and it sums it up. John Witherspoon tweets to say good morning. That sounds weird. 6 hours of Super Scoreboard. Yes, it does. Strap yourself in, because we have action all over the league, all over the country, and I am sure drama and talking points aplenty. So let's start in the capital, where Rangers go to Hibs, and Andrew Maclean is there.
Yeah, well, after that perfect start to 2025, Rangers fans have now been waiting in expectation for this game, and you guys alluded to it. They will have so many questions coming into this game. Is that 3-0 win over Celtic a sign of things to come? Can Rangers continue that today? And will they be able to sort out that away form, which has troubled them all season? Also big questions on the team news as well. Will Philippe Clement go for the same or a very similar team that beat Celtic? I'll get to that very shortly. As for Hibs, David Gray with that December resurgence for them. 4 wins on the trot after losing to Celtic at the start of that month. That also won him the Manager of the Month award as well for December, but they were disappointing last time out against 10-man St Johnstone. They've made just one change from that game. Junior Hoylett drops out, and in comes Dwight Gale. So Jordan Smith in goal. The back three: Lewis Miller, Rocky Bashiri and Jack Ardale. It's the Cadden twins on the wing back areas, Chris and Nicky. Then Nectar Triantis, Quan, Josh Campbell. The midfield three: Martin Boyle supporting Dwight Gale up top. The substitutes: Bursick, O'Hora, Levitt, Amos, McCurdy, Obita, Mariah Welsh, Hoylett and Molotnikov. As for Rangers, so many questions aimed at Philippe Clement about the rotation of his side and a possible over-reliance on sports science. Well, no changes from that 3-0 win over Celtic. Liam Kelly in goal, the back four: Ridvan Yilmaz, Dujon Sterling, Robin Proper and Jeff Day, Nicholas Raskin and Mohamed Diamande, the holding midfielders. Václav Černý, Nedim Barami and Yanis Hadji in behind Hamza Igaman. The substitutes: Munn, Cortez, Barron, Dessers, Matondo, Inciala, Dowell, King and Danilo. The referee for this one at Easter Road is John Beaton, and the VAR is Kevin Clancy.
Well, Gordon, we got the answer to our questions from yesterday. Will Rangers change the team? No. At the same time, the injured players, the absentees from the Celtic game are all still out anyway, so maybe it makes it a bit easier. Maybe the sports scientist is off for a couple of days, who knows, but it's the same team.
Yeah, I think like Thursday, his team was picked for him because of the situation. But I agree with the guys yesterday. They were saying he puts himself in a difficult position if he changes a team that has a clean sheet against Celtic and beats them comfortably 3-0 against Hibs at Easter Road, and he loses. Then he comes under a little bit of pressure for that. So same again, he'll bank on that back four, and obviously Kelly to be strong. Raskin is probably in the best form he's been in a long time, and that front four he'll be expecting to go and win the game for him.
To paraphrase the TikTok song about Luke McKeown, Philippe Clement said, "I phoned Hugh, I like the look of his plan."
Well, this is down to you, is it?
Oh yeah,
oh, wow.
I told you in Super Scoreboard on Friday night he would be daft to rotate, tinker, do anything with the team. The feel good factor's high, and now they will carry on from the Celtic win, and I think they'll win convincingly at Easter Road.
The thing is, Mark, we'll never know the full extent of it because a lot of it is easy. There is no James Tavernier, so you don't have to worry about potentially bringing him back in. There is no Jack Butland. So I know our learned friend here is trying to take credit for this big prediction of keeping the same team, and he might be right, but it was made easier because none of these guys are returning.
Yeah, it certainly was. Daz said yesterday that sometimes your best teams are the ones that are forced upon you. This one was on Thursday, and it is again today. But I don't think any Rangers fans will be complaining. I think they'll be quite glad that maybe Tavernier and some of the other ones aren't back just now. Now, if the game plays out a different way than it did on Thursday, then maybe there'll be gripes as always. But Philippe Clement could do no more than he's done so far. Pick that same starting 11, give the same sort of team talk. Will the game take a different form? I think it will a bit. I don't think Hibs will try and play from the back all the way through like Celtic did, which throws up a wee bit of a different challenge for Rangers. I think they'll try and get the ball into Rangers' box a bit more, so it'll be a different challenge, but you would have been daft to change that 11 after Thursday.
How big is this, Gordon, in terms of Rangers proving that Thursday was the start of something? You hear all these buzz phrases thrown out: turning point, catalyst, platform, whatever it is, because one thing that Thursday doesn't do on its own is change anything with regards to Rangers' away form. Rangers have played 9 away games this season. They've won 3 of them. They've drawn 2. They have lost 4. That is nowhere near title contending away form. So Philippe Clement will need to start trying to hit the levels that they hit on Thursday in games like this.
Yeah, I think his biggest problem is when Rangers don't have the percentage of play, they seem to be a better team. You look at them, Celtic had probably more percentage of the ball on Thursday. You look at them in Europe, they have more the opposition has more percentage of the ball, and Rangers have had their best performances. Their worst performances come away from home when they dominate the ball. So what happens is a team sits deep and makes it very hard for them to break them down. Look, they're turning up in the capital today. They must be full of confidence. Yes, they're against an informed Hibs team. Their manager's just picked up Manager of the Month. But I expect Rangers, I don't know if it'll be as comfortable as Hugh said, 3-0, but I expect them to leave Edinburgh today with 3 points.
It's a curious dimension of Philippe Clement's time as Rangers manager. He's had 24 away games and lost 7. That's almost a third. That's a very high percentage of failure away from home. But I do think Thursday was seismic for Rangers, the manager, the team, the fans. And it will be equally seismic if he makes any mistakes today, because he would have got the sack, I think, had he lost to Celtic on Thursday. but he's got everyone in the palm of his hand again. And the only way he drops that support is by leaving anything behind in Edinburgh.
I think the big thing for Clement for me is I think he could unfold a gem here, right? I looked at Yilmaz. Now Mark went to Celtic as a right back. We make fun of him, quite rightly so. And
I don't think you had to add that bit in.
And he ended up.
I like how you've been dragged into
By the way,
this
I
already.
liked the way he was going until he said we made fun of him.
Played a lot of his career at left back. Yilmaz I thought was excellent, right? He could get in there today. I think he quite enjoyed playing right back when I was watching him. He's come down to that left foot. It becomes dangerous. Yeah, the problem is if he gets down the outside of the defender and he has to swing his right foot in. But he's dangerous coming onto his left foot. I thought he was excellent. He might be the guy. Everybody talks about Sterling. Everybody talks about who's going to play right back if Tavernier. He might just be that guy.
There's just something rarer about the left-footed players playing on that side than the other way around.
I agree with you, but this is a guy who's an international footballer. He's a good player. So in Scottish game, I think this could suit him. I might be wrong. Yeah, I might be wrong, Mark, but we'll see where I think he's got it right now.
We'll be up against one of the league's informed players, arguably the informed player in Nicky Cadden.
Yeah, so he's going to find it difficult. Again, it's going to be a different approach. I think Cadden doesn't hesitate to just shift it and put it in the box. I think that's why Gale's in the team, because he's such an instinctive finisher off that as well. I was just going to touch on Rangers again. We've spent probably a day yesterday, Hugh and Friday, and everybody about Philippe Clement and Philippe Clement's team selection, Clement this and Clement that. What about the players? I mean, the players are the ones that have really underperformed this season as well, away from home. So today they've got to show their manager that they are capable of keeping those standards up, and it's a hard place to go and do it. But there is no variation, there is no chopping and changing, there is no excuses. Those players have to go out and deliver, and guys like Yilmaz, who's backing the team today at right back, and all the rest that are there, they need to stand up and be counted today.
There was an element of personal revenge in it for Yilmaz against Celtic, because he was the one who had the misfortune to miss the penalty in the cup final, and we all saw the television pictures of him leaving distressed jersey over his face, Philippe Clement trying to console him. So he was a man possessed against Celtic. He's got to be the same guy against another team in green and white today.
Looking forward to it. The scene is pretty much set, and we will go back to Easter Road for kick-off, Nick.
At William Hill Vegas, we're bursting with entertainment. Introducing V-Play, where revealing rewards couldn't be easier. Play your usual slots and table games featuring the V-Play icon. And when the V-Play bar's full, you're ready to spin the wheel for cash prizes. V-Play, only at William Hill Vegas. Bursting with entertainment. For GBP online accounts, use cash balance to play. Chance to spin and win prizes from 30p to £1,000 randomly awarded. Spin and claim within 7 days. T&Cs apply. 18 plus. Gamble aware.
Action as it happens. And your reaction from 5 on the open line. This is Clyde 1 Super Scoreboard.
We are minutes away from kick-off in the capital. Rangers with their result of the season, the performance of the season. How will they back that up today? Let's go back to Easter Road and speak to Andrew Maclean.
Yeah, the Rangers fans already in full voice here at Easter Road as they look to back their team. But you look at other venues this season: Celtic Park, Pittodrie, Esmiza Stadium, Fir Park, Rugby Park, Tynecastle. 6 venues where Rangers have already faltered on the road in the Premiership this season, but there's definitely renewed hope, renewed expectation after Thursday's win over Celtic. But these travelling supporters and the ones watching at home want these players that have just made their way out the tunnel, and they want this manager to prove that they can build on that performance as they look for a brighter future. Philippe Clement has had to defend his team selection and rotation over the course of this season. An over-reliance on sports science, one of the biggest criticisms, but all of that out the window today. He didn't have too much in the way of choice, with some key players still out, the likes of James Tavernier, John Souttar, Jack Butland, Leon Balogun, all still on the sidelines. So he goes for the same 11 as the Old Firm in the hope of getting the same result. Hibs have plenty of motivation of their own. David Gray had been written off, hadn't he, by many a couple of months ago, but a win here today could potentially see them end the weekend in the top 6. That's after 4 wins in their last 5 matches, and a Manager of the Month award, I should say, to boot for David Gray. I'll run you through the teams again. It was a 1-1 draw last time out for Hibs. St Johnstone went down to 10 men in that first half, but they were unable to come away with all 3 points. Out goes Junior Hoylett from that team, in comes Dwight Gale. So it's Jordan Smith who continues in goal. The back three: Lewis Miller, Rocky Bashiri and Jack Iredale. Chris Cadden will be the right wing back, Nicky Cadden the left wing back, with Nectar Triantis, Kwon and Josh Campbell the midfield three. Martin Boyle supporting Dwight Gale up top. No changes, as I mentioned, for Rangers, so it's Liam Kelly making his third Rangers appearance in goal today. Ridvan Yilmaz continuing in that unfamiliar right back role. However, he did perform well against Celtic there on Thursday. He actually took 6 shots in that game, which is, he'd only taken 2, I think, the whole season before that, so it showed that he really was getting forward, being able to cut in and make things happen in that game. Will he be able to do the same again today? Dujon Sterling, Robin Proper and Jefty completing the back four. Nicholas Raskin, Mohamed Diamandi, the 2 holding midfielders. Václav Cherny and Nadim Barami and Yanis Hadji in behind. Hamza Egaman, the lone striker. Referee John Beaton takes a look at his watch as the rain comes down here in Leith at Easter Road. Josh Campbell standing over the ball, and we are ready to go for Hibs against Rangers.
Clyde 1 Super Scoreboard. Goal flashes. With M&D Green Pharmacy. Planning your holiday? Get essential health advice and medication before you travel.
Come on then, you duds, what are you thinking? Give us your predictions for this game in isolation.
Cherny, Hadji and
He's
Igamani.
gone goal scorers as well.
3-0 Rangers.
Time.
I think it'll be tighter. I'm going to go for a narrow Rangers 1-0 win.
I'll go 2-1 Rangers.
Okay, we are up and running in the capital. Hibs on great form as well, the informed team in the league, you would have to say, albeit in isolation. A draw against 10 men of St Johnstone on Thursday perhaps wasn't a particularly impressive result, but still it keeps their unbeaten run going, and they have defending to do early on because Yanis Hadji is already in the box, and it falls back the way of Jefty and smashed against the legs of the Hibs defender. So Rangers very much on the front foot with that sort of, how are we describing that? That strip that kind of looks a bit like a train seat.
It does.
I don't know.
Shout.
Do you like that, man?
No.
Is that a trend? I
What,
don't know.
the strip?
Yeah.
No, is it a trend?
Well, it's sort of that colour type thing. I wouldn't suit
I don't
me.
know what you're talking about, but
No,
no,
fair. I'm just talking
it's not
here
nice
for the
at
sake
all.
of talking. But a good start from Rangers, right in the front foot. Good chance down the left hand side. Jeff digging up there, having a go. So yeah, good opening
It's
start.
a declaration of intent. They're not going to allow the 3-0 victory over Celtic to be forgotten about in the space of 3 days. They're here to do the same to Hibs that did to Celtic.
The goodwill that result gives, Mark, because that's one thing that it certainly does do. We've said it might not ignite a title challenge, it might not change anything, but it clearly gives goodwill to the players, to Philippe Clement. Does this now change the need for a big performance? As an example, when Rangers have been on their kind of poorer runs earlier in the season, if they scrape to a 1-0, people say, nah, still not good enough. This is a sign that things are not in the right place. But you suspect they would get away with that today, wouldn't they? It's just win this game and nobody will really grumble.
Win at all costs, and even if it is the 1-0 that I predicted, I think Rangers fans would go away and have a different outlook on it and say it was a professional win. It's amazing what that sort of performance on Thursday can do for you. But some of that goes out the window if you don't perform well here and you come unstuck and you draw the game or drop points.
The result changes for sure, but I mean, I think any win
is acceptable.
No one would grumble.
You would take a 1-0 and leave just now.
Yeah.
Just walk out the door. It doesn't matter. It's all about getting the 3 points. The one thing you cannot do this afternoon is leave anything in Edinburgh. You cannot afford to lose a game.
Part of question mark Sunday is get it done. Doesn't matter what it looks like, doesn't matter how narrow or how expansive the win is.
Oh, and Lewis Miller's made life very difficult for himself, but Rocky Bashiri bails him out, and Jordan Smith gathers. It was a fairly inexplicable mistake, to be honest. He tried to roll it back to the goalkeeper, but instead just rolls it into the penalty box, not even in the real direction of his goalkeeper. Quite hard to fathom what's gone on there.
And that's the worry, that they're dodgy at the back. But as I say, what Rangers have to do is win the match and then ask the question of Celtic. The lead at the top is then reduced to 8 points.
Just on that, I've seen short back passes, they're quite common, but that was just angled completely wrong.
Gordon, the problem is Hibs try and go down the left hand side here. Good opportunity.
Yeah, ball into the box, and Nicholas Raskin has to clear.
You're looking at a Hibs back three this afternoon, and 2 out of the back 3 have certainly got a mistake in them. As we see,
here's
one of them.
Yeah. The problem with David Gray is he's got to address that in January.
To be fair, Bashiri bails out the first one and does okay in the end there, so give him time to make a mistake. And there we go, we've got an opener.
Goal flashes with M&D Green Pharmacy.
And that did not take long. Hibs 0, Rangers 1, and it's Hamza Igaman. The ball cut into the box, a low finish into the corner, and Rangers pick up where they left off.
I told you, Tierney, Hadji, Igaman.
You did indeed.
And I said 3-0, and I'm beginning to regret saying only 3.
And now that I've seen it back, I maybe won't absolve Rocky Bashiri from blame on that first instance.
The 2 centre backs are honestly, they're all over the place. But it's a great ball in from Hadji, but Igaman is standing yards in himself and just easily, casually puts the ball in the back of the net. Worst defending I've seen in a long time, but well done to Rangers.
I'll start with credit for Rangers, because again you've got Igaman who's hurrying and harrying Bashiri into a mistake, but then Hadji has the quality to pull that back. It's a good finish, by the way, by Igaman. But Daz is right then to follow that up. Hibs defensively are woeful. Any Hibs back 3 that's got Miller and Bashiri, as 2 of them, are going to concede goals, and we've already seen it within 5 minutes. Mistakes from both, and that one from Bashiri there, followed up by poor defending in the box, leads to 1-0 Rangers.
Well, he's Rangers' main man for a reason in attack, Gordon. That's him up to 9 for the season. And worth bearing in mind, he didn't score his first until late October, because he obviously arrived and took time. So since the end of October, he's got 9 goals for Rangers.
I've got to say, he looks the real deal for me. There's a bit of, you look at him sometimes, there's a bit of casualness about him, but he believes in his own ability. He's got good ability. He's starting to score goals, playing with a lot of confidence. He's been really, really good for Rangers since he came into the team.
This looks as if it could get serious for Hibs. As I said, that Rangers are here with a declaration of intent, and they're a goal up after 5 minutes, and Hibs are already pressed against the floor here.
You're tearing, no you're not, because he doesn't have any, but you know what I mean, David Gray, you would be tearing your hair out, because it's quite actually inexplicable, the second bit, Mark, that kind of one-on-one defending where Bashiri misjudges it, that actually can happen to a lot of people. But the space Igaman has, it's not like, you know, Rangers were, it was like a big break and people are caught out of position. There's enough bodies back, and Igaman's possibly got sort of 4 yards, 5 yards either side of him.
Yeah, and you've got to look at either your central defender, Bashiri, who's then filling the 6 yard box, or Iredale, who's the left centre back, who's Martin Nobody. One of them have got to go with a striker, and none of them do. All of them retreat back to the 6 yard line. He just stands his ground, and he's got all the space in the world, but he connects well and finishes it well. But Hibs are so poor at the back, and I'm with as David Gray, if he's going to progress this Hibs team, he has to sort that out.
I don't think he's, well, I'll say scratching his baldy head, right? Because you must know when you put the 2 together in a back 3, there's a mistake in them, and we're only 7 minutes on the clock, and both of them have already had a mistake, and it's cost them.
But if they're your first pick, what do the second picks look like?
Listen, we have touched on Hibs for over a season now, and every time we said where's their weakness, it's always been at the back. It's always been at the back. They've got good players in the middle of the park, they've started to score goals, they've picked up points, but you guarantee if they 2 guys, any pressure on them, they panic.
So a great start for Rangers. And Mark, even psychologically you wonder how important that is, because on all of those days where they have come on unstuck away from home, they've barely even scored.
Here's a great chance, Gordon.
Yeah, Rangers in again here. Just Barami's got a bit of space, deflected wide that time.
Well, another devastating break from Rangers, but again, Hibs is so bare at the back. By the way, Tierney does well, great first touch, but they've got forward runners. I think, is it Diamandi? It's in the box, looking to make up the ground as well. Actually, it's a good touch. But look, the response from Rangers, Gordon, from Thursday has been outstanding. The pace that they're playing the game at, their pressing, their willingness to get forward, It's all what the Rangers fans wanted for the start of the season.
Do you know what the biggest problem is, Mark? Quite simple. I'm watching Miller, for instance, on the right hand side of the back three. He's so high up the pitch, and when Rangers get the ball, they're just putting it down that left hand side and absolutely killing them.
Do you think the psychology of the early goal, though, can that do that to you? Because all of a sudden your game plan is out the window a bit, and you're panicking a bit, and you're maybe trying to force things and do things to get back into the game. Where if this still stays 0-0, you can be a bit more relaxed.
Yes and no, but you're only 6 minutes on the clock. You're at home. The game will settle down. Okay, you'll be disappointed at losing a goal.
Corner
but you can't just throw away what your game plan is. You can't have.
That's what I mean. That's where you need that sort of composure.
You've got Miller so high up the pitch that Rangers are just winning the ball back and absolutely destroying them down that side.
You can win and lose games from various positions, Mark, but the Rangers needed a quick start away. Every single game that they've dropped points away from home, and there have been a few, as we've mentioned. I don't think they've even scored in the first half. Now I could be wrong, I'll double check, but if you think about it, 2-0 down at Motherwell, it took to the 60 odd minute for Danilo to score against St Mirren. You look at Aberdeen, I think it was similar time, 60 something for was it Barami that pulled one back up there. So they've never done this away from home.
Well, it's amazing again what that kind of confidence levels lifted can do for you. The way they started the game, you could see the intent right away, no doubt about it. But if you get a goal to back that up, I think everybody's just feeling good about themselves. Everybody's wanting involved. It makes a game so much easier. Whether it's the flip side, when it's sticky, it's slow, it's pedestrian, the crowd are getting on your back, that's when it's difficult to play for Rangers and Celtic. But these Rangers players look like they're enjoying it at the minute. Everybody wanting involved, everybody wanting the ball.
I said to you, it was seismic. Thursday was seismic, and Rangers are still in their heads. They're still at Ibrox. The crowd are still backing them, and they're just carrying on where they left off on Thursday afternoon. And Hibs are bystanders.
Hibs have actually just mini period of settling themselves there, Gordon, though. They got up the pitch, they forced a corner, they made life uneasy for Rangers. It's been better than it has been in the first few minutes.
Yeah, and that's why I said there's no reason to panic. Although you've lost an early goal and you've come under a little bit of pressure, you've got to settle down. You're at home. You've got to realise that, look, okay, we've had a setback, but there's plenty of this game still to go. We'll eventually get into it. We'll try and create some chances, but we've just seen them just give the ball away cheaply there. Clement must be standing there thinking this is a brilliant start to the game for us.
Wee baseball cap on as well. Maybe
man,
got it for Christmas or something.
If I was Clement, I'd be standing there saying, what happened at St Mirren and Motherwell?
He's got to put that behind him now, Hugh.
Listen,
you've got to move on in his position.
That will haunt Rangers for the remainder of the season, because they had a chance to ask a question of Celtic, but they've conceded too many times away from home, and St Mirren Motherwell, 1 point from a possible 6, has altered everything.
I've learnt one thing this year: you can't change your past, you've just got to make sure the future's better.
What was the one about surfing yesterday? I actually tried to hold on. Rangers are on the attack here as they go into the box, and it's cut back, and this might be number 2, and it isn't. It drifts wide. I think defended well in the end. I tried to tell my wife about your saying yesterday, but I forgot
about the waves. You can't stop the waves, but you can learn how to surf.
That's the one. Just getting my tattoo booked for tomorrow.
That's a good saying.
Rangers were just over elaborate there. It's a funny thing that comes over them. You know, you remember the cup final.
Well, Hibs breaking here, and Robin Propper had a little nibble at Martin Boyle. I wonder if John Beaton would have a word when this eventually breaks down. It's a great pass from Cadden to Boyle down the right hand side. He's just trying to work a space, and he can't. It's going to be another corner to Hibs, though.
It's a good game, by the way. Open, end to end. Hibs, you're right, Hibs have settled a wee bit, and you can see they're dangerous when they get going. Boyle's pace is certainly a worry, but they are so open at the back. We're just seeing a replay of the other chance, Diamonde getting in the box. Eagleman has great feet there, but just couldn't get his shot away.
Probably doesn't have to come back onto his right foot, does he?
I think he'd done the job. Just put it in with his left.
Anyway, another corner for Hibs. They've forced a couple, and the first one wasn't entirely easy for Rangers to deal with, and that one is, though. Head well positioned, I think, from Egeman, who's sort of everywhere in the early stages.
They've got good height in their Hibs for set plays, if they can get a decent quality. Here's Miller here with a long throw. Hopefully he gets this one.
When you go for your hair transplant, I'd like to see you with that Lewis Miller sort of shaved peroxide mullet.
The only thing is, I could carry that off.
Could you?
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind seeing it.
well, in the football part I had the ability to do it, but I've got to say, I'm looking at the way Hibs have lined up here.
Oh, it's a wonderful pass from Igaman to set Tierney away. This is from a Hibs attack, by the way. Rangers just looking to pick them off and get into the box, but it's poor from Tierney. Did it take a nick
Yeah, it
off
did.
the defender?
Yeah, it did.
Fair enough.
The Hibs are too open for me at the back. The two centre backs are playing at either side, right and left, are pushing up the park, and Rangers are just waiting to counter them and absolutely killing them. If I was David Gray, I'd say to my back three now, sit tight and try and keep it just as, because if Rangers score two,
Yeah.
Hugh's right, it's going to be 3-4 or whatever.
That's why you shoot yourself in the foot when you concede so early, isn't it, Mark? Because it's actually is quite a good game, and Rangers are the better side, but Hibs are doing fine now. It's quite open, they're attacking. It's quite entertaining stuff, but as Gordon says, Hibs are already a goal down, so perhaps have to be a bit more careful.
Well, they have to be cautious, certainly do. But I could see David Gray's thinking this is how he's turned their season around, by playing both Caddens on both flanks and going quite brave at the back. It's different when you come up against this level of opposition, though, on a high like Rangers are. And you can see the energy in the Rangers players getting forward. They can see the gaps the Hibs players are leaving in that back three, and they're exploiting them. And we've only seen 15 minutes so far, so the guys are right. They just need to be careful not to let this game get away from them.
That's why Lewis Miller's haircut's a bad idea. It's bad enough being a terrible player without drawing attention to yourself with a daft haircut.
Say what you think, Hugh.
See, this show gives you it all. We've had Philippe Clement's baseball cap, we've had Lewis Miller's hair. The Rangers do give it away here. Tierney on his heels, and Hibs going to come to the edge of the box on the corner with Nicky Cadden up against Yilmaz, who you wouldn't have expected to face in that position.
Well, you just wonder when Cadden's
lovely
facing him
from
up.
Kwon, really good
half,
from
yeah.
Kwon. And now a ball.
That's
It's a
the ball.
great ball into the box, and Rangers just about hang on. A right place at the right time for the centre back pairing. That was excellent from Hibs, and doesn't come to much in the end, though.
That's what Cadden brings you in that wide area. He doesn't need to shift it that far. He just gets out his feet and he puts it right into a great area. And by the way, I think Rangers defend this okay. I'm seeing it again. Is there a wee bit of luck in it? Oh, there is a wee bit of luck.
It's come off his heel, isn't it? Is it come off his heel?
Do you think the two Hibs attackers put each other off?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Is it Boyle and Gale?
Yeah.
Certainly two of them. It's almost like getting each other's way.
Yeah,
Hugh.
I thought so. And just at the moment that counted, they distracted each other. But sign of life for them.
Yeah, Hibs have rallied up to a point. They still look open at the back. Rangers still look like they could score again for sure. But Hibs are now looking a bit more like the team, Gordon, that finds themselves in a good run of form.
Yeah, they've settled themselves into it. Good play down the left hand side. I think they do get good quality down there. The one thing I liked was the plenty of players in the box going for it. It's a very, very open game. I'm scared to say that we'll get more goals and curse it a little bit, but it's so open. I think there'll be a lot of chances. I do think we'll get a really entertaining afternoon here.
Even the build up from Kwon was excellent, Mark. It looked like he maybe had taken a heavy touch, but then spun away from his marker, gave the ball to Cadden, he did the rest.
I think it's a big afternoon for him. I think he's disappointed since he's went to Hibs. He found himself at the team for long periods. When you go on loan from Celtic to another club, you really should be honed in a place in that team. And he could do with a performance that lets the Hibs fans and the Celtic fans think there's a player in there.
So 17 minutes gone in the capital then. Rangers are in behind again. There's no flag yet. It's a straight ball through the angle, just gets the better of Barami, and it's saved by Jordan Smith.
How easy is it?
Hugh, we are going to say this constantly. That is horrific defending. That's schoolboy.
Well, yeah, I'm looking at Lewis Miller, right?
Are you
Lewis
giving
Miller's,
Barami a bit of credit for his movement?
That's great movement, but come on.
It's a forward run. Lewis Miller's got him. He just leaves him, and Bashiri's beside him. He just leaves him.
Told you.
Amazing.
Bad player, bad haircut.
Anyway, Tierney's going to swing the ball in from the corner. Dujon Sterling playing centre back, plays pretty much everywhere. He's up trying to get in the mix, headed clear by Lewis Miller. And Rangers not ready to give up the attack yet, though. Diamandi's pass isn't great, but Barami does well to get on the end of it.
Yeah, well, they've kept us alive well because Hibs got the first contact. Yilmaz now out swinging it. Yeah, a wee bit of pressure here for Hibs.
Surely Tierney's going to try and dribble this into the box. He does, and it's saved low again by Jordan Smith at his near post.
He's made a few of those stops so far.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's a busier of the goalkeepers, let's be honest. That's good play. You know, Tierney's coming in that left side and it's dead easy to say, show him down the line. But he's in great form and he tests the goalkeeper there. Good save, good hand to it.
Hibs have had the problems with the goalkeeper's position all season long, but to be fair to Jordan Smith, there was nothing he could do about the first goal, and he's keeping them out now.
Yeah, corner to Rangers, brilliantly headed clear by Lewis Miller that time. Yeah, I think Hugh's bang on. Credit to Jordan Smith, because there was a school of thought that, you know, if the goalkeeping situation was so bad and they hadn't changed it, he must be much worse. And then when he came in his first game,
goal.
And he can't keep that one out though.
Goal flashes with M&D Green Pharmacy.
Rangers have 2, Eagleman's got 2, and Philippe Clement's side are motoring. It's Hibs 0, Rangers 2. It's a header, it's a cross into the box. He's got space. Smith got a hand to it, couldn't keep it out, and the Moroccan is on a hat-trick already.
Game over, 20 minutes in.
Your 3 might be looking.
Yeah, I said to you,
half time.
I actually regret I didn't go higher, but it's no more than Rangers deserve. The goalkeeper's got no chance with that. The defending is rank rotten as usual, and that's that then.
Good finish.
One just seems to give Eggman up. I mean, he's got him, and then.
Well, see, at this level, when you're playing the Premiership, you can't afford to defend like that. Almost like, we'll let it come into our box, but we won't track anybody. Eagleman's in the same position that he scored his first goal. The only difference is this time it's in there. And it's the same with the Hibs players. They almost stand in a ring around him and let him head it. Still a good header, because there's not a lot of pace on the ball in. It does well. And Rangers got their tails up now. This could be anything.
Do you know the thing, Mark? We're having a real go at the Hibs defence, right? But you've got to give Rangers all the credit in the world. They're capitalising it. They're moving them about. They're getting into good wide areas. They're putting good balls in the box. And when the ball's falling to Eggman, what he's doing, what he does best, he's putting it in the back of the net.
Is that where you would be devastated at how soft your defending was if you're David Gray? Because sort of, you know, kind of balance of play, if you like, or, you know, just generally in the game, you don't look that inferior, but as soon as the ball comes into your box,
you look so
like you concede every time.
Without doubt. But that's been his problem, hasn't it? That's been Hibs' problem for a long time.
Actually, another decent attack from Hibs there, and it's flashed across, and Yilmaz puts it out for a corner.
Yilmaz does well because he's in a good position there just to turn it behind, because he's got Cadden coming in at the back post. But you're right, Hibs have shown that they're capable of getting in behind Rangers, but so soft at the back with that back three.
A corner to Hibs, and it's headed over the bar. Hibs have had a few sniffs, but my goodness, at the other end,
it's a deflection. It's another corner.
Triantis it was who tried to head over.
I just wonder if David Gray's sitting there and now thinking, I need to change the shape of this. He's got 3 guys at the back, and Rangers are just going down the flanks.
It's just down to individuals, though.
Yeah, but sometimes you've got to change. You just can't keep going with 3 if you're getting absolutely done.
But what you can't change is the inadequacy of the players.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
They're going to be, no matter how you reshape them, they'll still be inadequate.
I know it's not this simple, but the notion that fewer central defenders could help Hibs out here is quite an interesting one.
I think you might look at a 4. I really do. You can put Miller. I don't know who else he's got at centre half. They can get in there, stick Miller at right back. He's played there. Because Rangers are getting so much joy down the sides, and
is a bigger worry not more about what happens when it does come in?
Well, it's not like, to be fair, the defending when it comes in is poor. But you've got to say, Eggman's movement, you know what I mean? He's looking and he just peels off. He's a centre forward, very clever. And when the ball comes to him, it's 2 good finishes. There you go. Where are you going again? Down the flanks all day long against him.
See that from Kwon, Mark? Is that a case of a midfielder who is actually just desperate to give the striker back to the defender? You know, he's got him, and if he just stays with him, he can probably defend it. But it's almost like, it's not my man, not my problem.
Yeah.
Even though you're in the box, and
you've got to think, where's the danger? The danger is the goal, so you've got to defend much closer to your centre back. The centre backs retreat onto the 6-yard line. Use a midfielder, can he be standing the other side of the penalty spot? There's a huge gap where the Rangers players can just flood, and that's what happened. So disjointed. It's not just the centre halves, of course.
Mark, they had 8 men in the box when that ball came in. 8 men in the box.
And Eggman isn't particularly big, is he? And he's the one that just gets a free header right in the middle of the goal.
He's shown good variety though, Gordon, and you know, having a bit of everything. I don't think there's any doubt he's still raw and young, but
I think he's
a bit of variety in the goals, and then even his kind of hold up play and the way he disrupts centre backs.
I think he's grown into a very talented young player, I've got to say. He's taking his time to get adapted to Scottish football, but all of a sudden he looks that calm. He's got composure. He knows where the back of the net is now. He's just playing with such confidence. He's got a swagger about him, Gordon. You can see that. He can do the wee flicks. He can do the hold-up plays. He scores the goals. He's a clever player.
And funnily enough, Mark, it's Quan that's got him at set pieces. So even, when the ball comes into that box, it's not like it should have been an alien job for him.
Yeah, well, Con's got the height advantage, hasn't he? And you think that should be no problem at all. But you've got to have the desire to want to defend your goal, and maybe that's what's missing. I'll even say that about the centre backs. I don't know if there's that desire to keep the ball at the back of the net.
Say be fair, Mark, I know what you're saying about a midfield player he's got to pick, but they've got that many centre halves in there. Every one of them drop off. They've got to go to the man and attack the ball. They can't just drop off onto the 6-yard box. They're doing nothing, absolute nothing. And you're right, Quan becomes lazy and thinks, well, it's not my job to go and pick him up. Agaman punishes him.
24 and a half gone at Easter Road. It's very comfortable on the scoreboard for Rangers already. 2-0 up. Igaman with a double. Hibs all over the place at the back. They've had flashes going forward, but that won't be much to keep them warm at this stage as Rangers go in again, but saved comfortably.
Yeah, Daz is right. Any run down the side, a Miller or Iredale the other side, and Rangers are in. That time Barami, nice little ball from Yefte. You've got to say Rangers have played well. They've moved the ball well from side to side. Even for the second goal, it was moved wide, and they seemed like there was acres of space to get the cross in. But at least Rangers recognised that. So give credit to them. They thoroughly deserve to be 2 up.
Rangers look at a team that's enjoying this fixture. I thought it'd have been difficult, because I thought Hibs are in good form. They've found a way of playing now. But Rangers have just looked like a team that's come off of Thursday, Hugh quite rightly says, and thought, do you know what, we're going to enjoy this.
Early goal does that to both though, doesn't it? It makes such a difference.
But to be fair to Rangers, they're not to blame for scoring an early goal.
No, that's what I mean. I said it does it to both sides. I'm saying, that it allows Rangers to feel good about themselves. It allows Hibs to start maybe panicking a bit more. I think we actually overlook it quite often, just how important it is.
This is part of the fascination. With every goal that Rangers score, the Celtic fans are going to Celtic Park and thinking, right, you'd better not slip up against St Mirren at home, because we're still on Thursday afternoon here, and on a Sunday, Rangers are still in the place they were when the final whistle sounded at Ibrox after beating Celtic 3-0, and they're just basically wiping the floor with Hibs.
Yeah, Nicholas Raskin just gives it back to Diamandi. The more patient build up on this occasion.
You can see now Hibs, the minute Rangers get the ball, the 2 wing backs are coming right back and try to make it a 5 and stop those balls going down the flanks, which allows Rangers then in front of them to dominate possession of the ball, as they're doing just now.
Whatever Hibs do, they're doing it 2 goals too late.
Yeah, there's too many spaces opening up now for Rangers. You can see Raskin, Egeman that time coming way short to get the ball, because the Hibs midfielders are scared to go and press, but they're still playing an incredibly high line, even with those wing backs coming in. It needs a decent ball in behind them. Rangers will be in again. They will get in time and time again before this first half's out anyway.
And that's back to the point about early goals. If you're Hibs now, Gordon, you know that you have to score, you have to try and get back in, but you also run the risk of being on the wrong end of an absolute hammering at home.
If you don't get the next goal, you're in deep trouble. If Rangers had to score 3 before half time, then it's anything they want, because Hibs haven't got the character. As much as they've improved, they've not got the character in the team to turn that round. And Rangers playing with the confidence the flair players have got, the way they're playing, then Rangers would just go on and score as many as they want.
Yeah, and yet they need the next goal, Mark, so there's a difficult balance for you if you're a Hibs player or David Gray.
Yeah, well, they need to get the ball forward to the guys that were causing problems in that period where Rangers had scored their first, but they went off the boil, and literally off the boil. They're not past to Martin Boyle since then.
I like it.
I didn't mean that, but they have. They're not getting the ball forward anywhere near enough or with enough accuracy to cause Rangers any problems. Now, Rangers have just settled this game into what they want it to be. try and entice Hibs out. Proper and Sterling, plenty of passes between them. Raskin in the middle, try to link it, and as soon as Hibs promote a body forward, bang, it's through for a forward run of Tierney or Barami.
Do you think, although we've got a game in our hands before we even get to this stuff, but different personnel again in January if they can for Hibs at the back? You remember we all stood in here when they went to Celtic Park, and they really they attacked pretty quickly, didn't they? And we were all quite impressed with what we were seeing. And what did it end up in the end?
3-0.
3-0.
It's just that it must be so hard to try and build on something when you're so fragile at the back.
Yeah, well, I've seen manager after manager. The manager for it, Nick Montgomery, he was the exact same. He thought that he'd play attacking football, and that was great to go on, because he played 2 midfield players and played 4, played 2 wide, and he got destroyed because his defenders couldn't defend and gave away goals. David Gray's come in there, he worked under that. He must have recognised that. No disrespect, and I hate saying this, but right now those 2 centre backs ain't good enough for you, because they're a mistake written all over them every single game they play. And that's the problem. And if you give teams the way they're giving Rangers possession and giving them chances, Rangers are too good, they'll punish them. And that's what's happening.
Free kick to Hibs, Triantis brought down by Raskin. More of a deep one though. It's just inside the Rangers half. I think an easy decision for the ref to make. John Beaton, Rangers line is incredibly high, so it's going to have to be special from Hibs to...
Makes it difficult for Cadden to find a kind of landing zone to put that in, really. He's whipped it in, nevertheless.
Yeah, I think Jeffrey was up, but
defended that well.
Hibs do still have it down the left hand side. Cadden doesn't need any second invitation, but he overhits that one.
Well, I said before the game that it'll be a different game for Rangers in terms of defensively and defending their box, because Hibs won't hesitate. And look, in the first 30 minutes, Cadden alone has put maybe 3 or 4 decent balls in. That one wasn't one of them. But Rangers have stood up to it and defended it well.
Yeah, they're cruising. But it's important now, 15 minutes to go of the first half. It's important the Hibs don't concede again, because it then begins to look farcical. But Rangers are just in a good place, and they're playing like it.
Just giving a free kick away there, Diamandi. The middle of the park looks a bit confused. John Beaton right up the play there. It's a bad touch, yeah, as a free kick.
Yeah.
It's a free kick.
Don't know why he's confused.
Yeah.
Not much to be confused about.
It's a sore one for Cadden. A real sore one.
We were talking about yesterday about things you don't want players to do in the season, put their hand over their mouths and talk. I don't want to see that confused look. Who, me? I mean, it's as blatant a foul as you'll ever see.
They'll check this because the contact is high, but it's just more of a stretch from Diamandi. He's not sliding, he's still on his feet. He leans in, and it does catch Nicky Cadden high, so they'll take a look. You'd be surprised if there was anything.
I don't think there's any force in that, is there really?
No, he just loses the ball and stretches out for it, so I think it'll be a yellow. Did they get a yellow?
I don't think he did.
Decision, no red card.
Yeah, no red card, and you can't give a yellow obviously due to VAR, so Hibs is just going to flight the free kick towards Lewis Miller, who does quite well to head it back across. And Triantis is in there, and if they do have a man over Hibs, if Bashiri can find him, there's Martin Boyle. Goal
flashes with M&D Green Pharmacy.
And Hibs are back in it, game on at Easter Road. We did say the hosts, although they've been poor at the back, they've looked dangerous going forward at times, and they've scored. It looks like Lewis Miller is onside. I think he's behind Jeffrey, but we'll get a look at the lines and so on. Rocky Bashiri, who knew he was there as a big target man, lovely chest and knockdown to Boyle.
Great finish.
And a left-footed finish into the corner.
It's a terrific finish. Rangers all over the place defending. He does brilliant there, just lines it up for Boyle on his left foot. I don't think his left's his strongest, but I've got to say, he gives Kelly absolutely no chance.
Tell you what, I love that touch from Rocky Bashiri.
I was going to say, Mark, been hammering them all afternoon, but that is magnificent from Bashiri on the chest. The way to pass, that's so difficult.
We'll need to get a
finish.
Look.
I thought he was offside there.
No, he's on.
Look at Jeffrey.
He's
not Raskin.
Yeah. Okay.
But then, to be fair, I think the angle of the camera is slightly off, so you still need the lines.
Yeah, okay.
So what you said, the lines
This
are,
would be a massive blow if this get ruled out for it, but you're right.
they're calibrated and so on for a reason, so that you don't just use the naked eye to look at the
goal
picture.
stands.
Yes, goal stands.
I was
It's
just
funny,
saying that
we slaughtered Bashiri, but there was a subtlety of touch there.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
if he
incredible.
could show that same subtlety in his everyday job at the back, it would be a help.
I'm now convinced I'd have the number 9 shirt on and put
Get
him
him
up
up
front,
front,
get
just
him
keep him out the way.
But I'll get back to right. As much as great goal from Hibs, terrific finish, Clement will be really angry with Diamondi. He gives away a needless free kick. He's in control of the ball, miscontrols it, gets away from him. All of a sudden, gives Hibs a chance to put a bit of pressure
I think
on.
that's a character trait where Diamondi is concerned. It happens every game, and he always has that puzzled look. What? Who? Me? He's reckless.
And although, listen, he's been criticised at the back, and rightly so, I don't think it will change anytime soon. But I suppose that's what Hibs do have, Mark. If you can get Lewis Miller round the back, jumping with a Raskin, or jumping, well, it would be Yilmaz if he wasn't on his other side. You're always going to have that threat from set pieces.
Yeah, aerially he is aggressive. He will go and attack it. We've seen it actually defensively. He's headed a good few out in the first 35 minutes here. But the opposite end, of course, it carries a threat. I was just saying as well, Rangers have defended their box pretty well. I even think in that instance, there's enough bodies round the ball to be fine. But it's the qualities on the touch and the layoff to Boyle that makes it extremely hard to defend against.
The quality of the goal is undeniable. Hibs' drawback is that they need to score a lot to make up for the players at the back.
I said at 1-0, there's got to be goals in this. It's too open. And you're right, Hibs had to get the next goal. And how games change so quickly. Rangers control, we're all thinking, it's got to be a comfortable afternoon. Hibs have just made it a little bit more uncomfortable.
I think
for
my
them.
Devastating
1-0's
news. Devastating news for Hugh Keevins' prediction as well. You
Oh,
have
no.
to say, he
Damn.
was
3-0.
he was getting excited at the start of the new
There's
year.
only one got it up so far.
Excuse me. Oh, the prediction.
Yeah.
What was yours again?
2-1.
Oh, there's a long way to go in this.
I know.
Oh, there's a long way to go.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I'm not holding out any hope, I've got to say.
good game. That's what we can all
That's
agree
a
on.
good game,
From an entertainment perspective, Hibs are back in it. We have game on and 10 minutes to go until the break. You can always say next goal is going to be crucial, but certainly applies here.
Oh my
What have
goodness.
I just witnessed?
I like that. That was good.
Oh, catch yourself.
Well,
on.
Jordan Smith, the Hibs goalkeeper, takes the ball into his hands, and goalies will always do this. They'll try and throw it out quickly, usually with one arm. It was almost like a throw-in, like a shy. But they jumped up in the air and
He had to get it over Tierney,
shied
didn't
it
he?
over the head of Tierney.
Goodness
I
me.
liked it.
Did you?
It found its target, didn't it?
What's wrong with the one arm? I thought that's where the one arm
Exactly.
came into its own. You can just bowl it over.
He's one step ahead of the game.
He nearly fell over. He's the only guy I've ever seen commit a foul throw from open play.
My pet hate with goalkeepers is when the balls come in, they go with the shorter arm. I've never understood that.
Shorter arm.
Yeah. You think, if you have a
Two
look
arms
at,
of different lengths.
if you have a look at
I know
Ickerman's
what you
goal,
mean. The wrong arm.
the
They go
wrong arm.
across themselves,
See
yeah.
if he goes with the left. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know these goalkeeping coaches, and they explain that to me.
Do they feel it allows them to spring across a bit more?
Maybe get away stronger, but I've never ever noticed
I
that.
take your point.
Surely, if you dive, you go with your longer arms. I call it.
I take your point. Rangers actually haven't given up here. The set piece gets kept alive and cut back. Can there be a Rangers jersey? Yes, but it goes well over the top from Tierney.
A bit better from Hibs defensively there, and actually showing a desire to get out and press that ball. It was Boyle, actually full sprint, and it forces Tierney to put it over the bar. We have got a really good game here. There's certainly more goals. You wouldn't bet against them being goals before half time, the way it's going end to end. But Clement will be furious that his team have allowed Hibs to come back into this. They were so in control there, and the game was just panning out the way he would want it to be. But you lose a goal and it shifts the dynamic a bit and makes you a wee bit more nervous when the ball comes into your
I think it
defensive
gives
third.
Hibs more confidence, Mark, to be honest.
Corner again. Hibs have racked up a few.
It's
Boyle's
first
done
half.
brilliant there.
I think the change of dynamic you were talking about is mirrored in Clement. He's far more animated now than he was. 2-0 and cruising and all was well. And now he's gone back to the bench and he's more and more animated, and he's having troubled time at the thought of this going 2-2.
They've got good height in that box, Hibs. And if I said it after about 10 minutes, if they can get good quality in, that's where their joy will come from.
Yeah, it's a deeper ball.
Poor, that's poor.
And Liam Kelly comes and collects, which is, because as good as Liam Kelly is, I think everybody knows there's not that same stature of Jack Butland, and if there has been a weakness that people accuse him of, then coming for Cross's crowded penalty boxes not as easy as it would be if he was 6'5". So if you're David Gray, you're fuming at that, Mark.
Oh, well, that's the second one. He's came and claimed for a corner kick, so
and credit to him, by the way.
Yeah.
But you can make life difficult if you're Hibs.
Yeah, I think a couple of the Hibs corners that we've seen previously, just into that front post area, is where they should be aiming. Those deeper ones aren't coming off for them. But it's an opportunity, especially when you've just scored from a set piece. Hibs have got another free kick, similar area over the other side.
That's a good ball.
That's a great ball.
It's a great ball. And Lewis
Poorly
Miller's there
defended.
again. And if anything, Hibs have another corner here.
Rangers get away with one there.
He's picked the wrong option. He's tried to head it back the way instead of heading it across the way, where there's no, to be fair to him,
no real support.
There's no support in there. I've got to give him a bit of credit.
That's a surprise
for
from Hibs, because as soon as that ball's in the air, you can almost identify that there's a
get
chance about
yourself in that area.
Rangers' defensive line, they're so bad though, disjointed everywhere.
Another corner, Hibs. That's a good one from Cadden, but it's a brilliant glancing header.
Sterling, I think.
Sterling. There are a couple of bodies down in the box. That was an excellent header because Cadden's delivery was on the money.
Flashpoint
for the first time, Rangers look a bit rattled for the first time in the match. To go in at half time with it 2-2 would be a major setback for them.
Yeah, Diamandi's down. He feels that Triantis gave him
He did. He gave him a
dunt.
Yeah, he gave him a wee one, just to let him know he was there.
Such an important touch here from Sterling, because the pace on the ball and the Hibs player coming in, he just gets a nick on it to take it out.
Well, Hibs with the long throw again then. They certainly are the team in the ascendancy as we move towards the final 5 minutes of the first half. And it's not the longest long throw I've ever seen, I have to say, and it's a free kick to Rangers.
I wouldn't even describe that as a long throw.
No. He actually bent his run as well from the advertising boards, like he was going to launch into the 6-yard box.
It's a medium-sized throw,
and it's the right decision from John Beaton to award the foul up there on Diamandi. But the game's changed, the game's shifted, so Rangers have to show a different side to them. They have to defend their box much better than they have done in the last 5 minutes. I was giving them all the credit in the world in the opening half hour, but coming under a bit of pressure.
You all the flashbacks now of away games played and away games thrown away, points dropped, so at least Hibs have started to ask a question or two.
That's excellent from Jefty. Just comes in the pitch, runs away from a couple of Hibs players and switches play right over to the other side.
He's very good at that, Jefty. It's a real trait of his, just coming in with his first touch and opening up the play. You often see fullbacks just getting out their feet and looking one way, but he tends to drive in a lot.
Yeah, did very well on that occasion. And Rangers just, I think, would even settle for a bit of controlled possession at this point, Gordon.
Yeah, and I think Hibs have tweaked it just slightly. They're starting to plug the gaps where they were very open early on. If you look at them, and they're obviously working now in their lines, getting up and then dropping off and trying to stop the balls in behind them, which makes it a bit more difficult for Rangers. But what happens is Rangers then allow themselves to dominate and basically control the tempo of the game. But look, I think both sides right now would be happy to get in 2-1, because David Gray, I think, must have been looking at this game thinking this is away from us. Clement is now looking, saying I need to have a few strong words and just up again and go and win this game. So I think two managers would probably be okay with 2-1.
Although David Gray would be much happier with 2-2.
Well, Clement would be much happier with 3-1. But just the way
good insight for you too.
Yeah, just the way the games went, Hugh. You know, Rangers were in total control, looked easy street, and then all of a sudden they've given Hibs a wee lifeline.
I still thought you could see this Hibs threat. I know it hadn't come to much, and I know they were soft as whatever you want up the other end. I still thought you could see that they carried a bit of a threat going forward.
The only threat would have been from the set play that they got, because take that away, 42 minutes.
No, but I mean, getting into
goalkeepers
the
not had the save.
No, but that's not the same thing. I'm not saying they've had shots on target. I'm talking about forcing corners, getting bodies in areas, because then it comes from set plays. Then you see
always got to be a threat at set plays.
No, but
100%.
Yes, but you have to get into threatening areas to win corners sometimes.
Well, the goal came from just a mistake from Diamante.
That one, but I'm talking about the number of corners they've had.
Yeah, they've got
so
another
allows you
one
to
here,
put under pressure.
and they're looking to get a good ball in here.
Yeah, it's another decent one.
That's
It's
a good
well
ball, I
defended
think.
again.
I think that's good defending. Igman, is it Igman?
Proper the first one, I think.
It's right in the front post area. Hibs have got to have a player across proper there. A bit of panic there from a Rangers point of view. Sterling taking no chances, just getting it out. But Hibs building a wee bit of pressure here before the half-time whistle.
Here we go. The short throw that's trying to turn into a long throw.
Because this is far away as well. Please don't try and put this one in.
He's done all right.
There we go. He's just lofted it into the big target man, Rocky Bashiri again. And
He does look a better threat up there, doesn't he?
By the way, it's poor from Rangers though, because Bashiri has got all the time in the world. If that's into his feet, I think it was Raskin. Raskin's behind him. You need to get somebody in front of Bashiri to just block that off. They're actually lucky it bounces and goes over Bashiri and proper clears it.
Don't forget, it was a Rocky Bashiri goal that set in motion one of the biggest
3-3 Hibs
turnarounds in Scottish football this season. If that goal doesn't go in, what happens to Hibs and what happens to Aberdeen, perhaps more interestingly?
It was definitely the turning of a corner for
An
David
incredible
Gray.
moment a more incredible moment for Aberdeen, really,
Yeah.
when you think of the slide they've gone on and just how dramatic it was.
Well, as I say, they run the risk of going 10 games without a win today when they go to play Motherwell at Fir Park, which is astonishing. That's like a quarter of your season without a win. But for Hibs, probably the saving of David Gray's job. And now we're about to come to the end of a first half in which Hibs have looked so far out of it and now so far into it.
Yeah, particularly the last 15 minutes. For half hour it just looked like Rangers were going to run away, but the last 15 minutes Hibs have been the better side since they got the goal. It's rocked Rangers a wee bit, got Hibs' tails up.
Yeah, the game looks very different now. Rangers not really creating as much as they were earlier on, and they could have been miles out of sight.
As I say, I think it's a team now experiencing flashbacks to days gone by and nights gone by when they have thrown away points that they should have won on the road.
Hibs not far away as well. He just sometimes the wrong decision, and it's well picked up in the end by Hibs. They've had to defend for the first time in a while and just hacked away by the goalkeeper.
Where they've got better, Hibs, is they've asked their two wing backs to drop back a bit deeper, and you see there, and they were lucky to do it because Cadden was in a good position to stop that.
See, I think Hibs are really close to doing some excellent things in this game, Mark.
Yeah.
And then just, maybe a pass miss hit here or there.
It was great play there for it. Was it Triantis?
Yeah, it was really
great
good
play, but just out with the pass. Karen certainly looked a threat on the left hand side.
Right, we might have a bit of a check
might not be
here.
on for long though after that.
Because there's always a telltale sign for a referee is when a player goes chasing his own bad touch.
Yeah.
How often do you see it? So we've not had it pulled back yet.
He's
Play
done
still
brilliant
going
there.
on.
I've got to say, Boyle has done absolutely brilliant there.
Great experience as well.
Yeah.
Wins a free kick. Let's see what happens now.
Let's take a look.
Is it Raskin that's down?
Yellow.
So the yellow's come out anyway, and then we'll take a look to see if it was anything worse from Nicky Cadden. As we said, when a player chases their own bad touch, it is time and time again. See, good if he's got it right on this occasion. It's good refereeing from John Beaton because he just waited, brought it back. Cadden overruns it. Yeah, I think it's low enough, isn't
That's
it,
a yellow.
to stay yellow?
Yeah, that's a yellow.
Yeah, no complaints, I don't think, from Nicky Cadden. You'd be surprised if it was more. Play just goes on.
He has been good today, Cadden, so it would have been a shame if he had overran that and made a challenge that got my red card.
Yeah, Rangers just not.
Get a bit slack now.
They look a bit out of sorts now. That's diagonal right out of play.
It's the past visiting them in the present. But at least we've got a second half now that it's worthy of the name, because it looked at one stage as if the second half might just be a
one
procession.
final chance for Hibs.
Oh, great ball
Chris
in.
Cadden, and he just tries to dink it in. I wonder if a more pacey delivery would have been advisable.
Good defending by Proper, I've got to say.
He's just tried to stand it up, Mark, but I wonder, there are players
Yeah.
arriving a bit deeper in the box.
He's just chose the wrong type of cross here. He does brilliant. It's a brilliant ball to him. Great touch, shifts out his feet. He just doesn't put enough in that. But good opportunity. Good play from Hibs.
And I suspect that will be the final action of the first half. Hibs finishing it very strongly, but it is still Rangers who lead. Surely this will be the break, because we've passed the 2 minutes. As Liam Kelly just takes his time, he knows he's in no rush, and he's just going to launch it into the Easter Road sky. And there we go. Andrew Maclean.
Hibs 1, Rangers 2, the half-time score. Philippe Clement's men looked brilliant for the first half hour of this game with Igaman at the double, but a Martin Boyle goal means it's open heading into the second half. It was a lightning start from the visitors who looked at it right away. They opened the scoring in just 4 minutes. Igaman winning a battle with Rocky Bashiri. The ball was worked out to the left for Yanis Hadji. His cutback found Igaman free in the centre of the box, and he found the bottom corner with authority to send the away fans over to my right. Crazy. A quick break after that. Czerny playing in Barami, who cut in, had a shot deflected just wide of the post. Another break forward not long after. Czerny and Diamandi both involved. Igaman with a couple of nice touches to make space for himself, but his shot was deflected wide. It's not as if Hibs hadn't been venturing forward. A couple of balls into the box, a couple of set pieces, but unable to trouble Liam Kelly at that stage. Jordan Smith then had to look alert a couple of times in quick succession from Barami and Czerny, but Jordan Smith couldn't stop this one. Barami's cross from the left. Igaman free in the centre of the box again. This time he flicked a header towards the top corner. Jordan Smith got his glove to it, but it did nestle in that top corner, and Rangers got their second and Igaman got his second. It was mostly going their way, pretty much all their way in the first half up to that point, but Hibs got one back through a set piece. It was a foul by Mohamed Diamandi. Was actually quickly checked by VAR for a potential red card, but the decision was no. The deep free kick played in. It was headed back across goal. Bashiri was there. He took a lovely touch down, a layoff to Martin Boyle, and a great finish into the bottom corner to get a goal back. An entertaining game, this one so far at Easter Road. The half-time score, Hibs 1, Rangers 2.
The team with the biggest support in Glasgow and the West. This is Clyde 1 Super Scoreboard.
At the break at Easter Road, it sits Hibs 1, Rangers 2. Rangers 2 up within 19 minutes. A double from Hamza Igaman and looking very comfortable indeed. But then Hibs came into it more. Martin Boyle scored and Hibs end the half on the ascendancy. It's been a good game, first and foremost, Hugh.
Yeah, absolutely. With two halves within one half. Rangers dominating the first 20 odd minutes, and then I still maintain when Boyle scores after 32 minutes, Rangers are spooked because they've seen it too often on the road in the past, and in the recent past, St Mirren, Motherwell, and players who looked comfortable, composed and thoroughly dominant for whatever reason started to wobble, and the second half ended in a stream of corners for Hibs, and the game is very much alive for them. It will take a third Rangers goal, I think, and that might knock the stuffing out of David Gray's side, but we've got a game on our hands.
Yeah, we certainly have. It's been a brilliant watch for 45 minutes, and like you said, I just thought Rangers were going to run away with it, with the confidence that they had, with the play being so open, with the problems they were causing Hibs at the back. But Hibs somehow just found a way back in. They did carry a threat, you could clearly see that, but they had to take one of those chances, and they got it at the right time, and the game kind of swung then. In the last 15 minutes of that half, you could see Rangers were struggling a wee bit to get up the pitch, to create anything of any note, and the game is in the balance at the minute. Philippe Clement will be happy, of course, because he sides 2-1 ahead, but it could have been a much more comfortable team talk at half time than he's having to give at this moment.
I thought Hibs were too open at the beginning, played right into Rangers' hands. Rangers scored 2 goals, punishes them, easy street for Rangers, and then they tweaked it a little bit. They got their wing backs a little bit more deeper, played from there, depended on the set plays. I think Rangers will be disappointed in 2 aspects of their goal. Diamandi miscontrols the ball, gives away a cheap free kick, and if you look at Miller, who we've given a wee bit of criticism about his defending, but the one thing the lad is good at, he'll go and attack a ball. He's up against Raskin at the back post. That's a mismatch. I can't understand that. And great play with Hibs and a terrific finish from Boyle. Game on.
We will go back to Easter Road and get the lay of the land ahead of the second half next.
The winning team all season long. This is Clyde 1 Super Scoreboard.
Let's head back to Easter Road then and find out the mood in the place with the game in the balance at 2-1. We thought at this stage Rangers would be out of sight because of the way they started, but Hibs have rallied and brought themselves right back into it. Andrew Maclean, how would you describe the way that it's felt in the stadium, given the way the home side collapsed at the start and then came back?
Yeah, I mean, at the start of the game it certainly looked as if it was only going to go one way, and you could see that even before Rangers got the opener, because Lewis Miller had a wayward back pass. Rocky Bushiri and Jordan Smith managed to deal with it eventually, but the fans behind the goal were already very nervous. Rocky Bushiri had to turn round and sort of motion for them to calm down, because he felt that they were maybe getting tetchy, and that was only a couple of minutes in. But the supporters were probably right at that point, because Rangers then they get that first goal through Hamza Igaman, they get that second goal through Hamza Igaman, and for that first half hour Rangers just looked really good, didn't they? They looked really fluid. Their front four were linking up really well. There was variety in their attacking play, and the Rangers supporters were in full voice, because they felt that what they saw on Thursday was going to happen again today, that they were on easy street and they were going to get those 3 points very, very easily. But it's funny just how quickly goals can change things and change the mood, because there was that growing frustration from the three home stands. Every loose pass, every time a Hibs player lost a duel, there was moans and groans, but eventually they managed to get that goal. The ball played in. Good play by Rocky Bushiri as well, wasn't it? You wouldn't really expect it from him, to be able to take the ball in so well in a crowded box. Laid it off to Martin Boyle. A really good finish, and all of a sudden the mood completely changes, because these Hibs fans now think, well, you know what they saw in the final 15 minutes of that half, they'll be hoping that they can see that again, and they'll be hoping that they can cause Rangers more problems. There'll be a bit of maybe nervousness from the away support now, because as you guys mentioned in the studio, we've seen Rangers' record away from home in the league this season. They've dropped points at 6 different venues already. They'll be hoping that it's not going to be the same old story. They'll be hoping that what they saw on Thursday will come back in that second half. But one thing that we certainly know is, if the second half is anything like the first half, it's going to be really entertaining, because it was open, there was loads of chances, both teams had their opportunities. It's been really enjoyable so far, so I'm looking forward to seeing what the next 45 has in store.
Doesn't strike you as the type of game that would see either manager desperate to make changes imminently, Andrew?
No, you'd be surprised. Certainly after that first half hour, you would have thought David Gray might have been looking for some changes to see if anyone on his bench could change the way that the tide was going. But you know, there's been those tactical tweaks that he's made. Gordon Dalziel talked about the fact that maybe the Cadden twins either side have just dropped back a bit deeper to stop Rangers getting that space in behind that they were getting so easily in the start of that game. So you would expect that after their resurgence in the last 15 minutes, that there won't be any changes. Just looking at the two teams making their way onto the pitch now, out the tunnel, and it looks as if it will be the same 11s for both sides. So I'll read through those again. Jordan Smith in goal for Hibs, who had to make a good few stops in that first half. Lewis Miller, Rocky Bushiri, Jack Ardale, the back three. Chris Cadden, Nectar Triantis, Kwon, Josh Campbell and Nicky Cadden across the middle. Martin Boyle partnering Dwight Gale up top. Liam Kelly in goal for Rangers. Yilmaz, Sterling, Proper and Jefty across the back line. Raskin and Diamandi, the two holding midfielders. Cherny, Barami and Hadji in behind Hamza Igaman. We are back underway at Easter Road.
Clyde 1 Super Scoreboard. Goal flashes with M&D Green Pharmacy. Get advice on keeping infections and viruses away when school returns.
Well, who knows? Hugh Keevins, let's just sit back and enjoy, because after half an hour you're expecting a cricket score from Rangers, and at the end of the half Hibs looked the most likely to pull level, so should be an interesting second half.
Sometimes the old cliches are the most accurate of all, and the cliche about the next goal is important is certainly true, because if Rangers go 3-1 up, then I don't see Hibs coming back. But if it goes 2-2, anything could happen.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's finally in the balance. Next goal is so important. But I just think we'll still get that open game. I think there'll be chances created. I think both teams will go for it, and I think we'll get more goals.
Is it as much of a mental challenge as anything for Rangers, Mark, to try and be a bit more composed than they were at the end of the first half, and not let their dominance go out the window just because Hibs have scored?
Well, I suppose so. It's hard to do when Hibs were just going direct, side to side direct, and it's hard to get a grasp of the ball then when that's happening, and you rely on your defenders. But I think Philippe Clement will just want much more attacking threat. We've seen it in the first 15-20 minutes. They're on the attack here, and they looked good in that respect, but they just lost a wee bit of control.
Yeah, Diamandi shoots from the edge of the box, but it was always going to take something out of the ordinary.
It was tame, I've got to say. Good build up from Rangers down the right hand side. Cherny, You know, he always looks a threat. Defenders stand him up and think, what way is he going to go? He plays it in there, and Diamande, tame shot, never got in trouble, the goalkeeper.
Yeah, probably not one he needed to take on, is it? You remember when he first arrived, he scored a couple from outside the box, and it feels like since then he's got his sort of decision making all wrong on them.
That's what made him my player of the year in Scotland.
Is that who you tipped for player of the year?
Desser's top goal scorer. It's not happened for me, is it?
I mean, Dessers isn't that far away, but it doesn't look like he's going to play that many games. So yeah, it could be a challenge for you, not going to lie.
Well, Sam Dolby's in the front runner at the moment at Dundee United.
With no offence to Cyril Dessers, I mean purely for your humiliation, it'd be good if he left in January, wouldn't it? Your tip for top goal scorer, not even there to see out the season.
A double transfer, Diamande and Dessers would just add to my January.
He's on 6 for the season in the league. He's 4 behind Dolby. But as we said, I don't know how much football he's going to play between now and then.
Well, Rangers are playing the football now. They're trying to bed themselves into the second half, not do anything foolish. As I say, I think a third goal would be decisive, but we're back in that old scenario with Rangers. You know, as Andrew said at half time, they've dropped points in 6 different venues this season so far.
Martin Boyle taking a sore one. I thought John Beaton was going to blow after the challenge from Robin Propper, but play goes on.
Certainly looked like a foul to me in that occasion. Slightly surprised at that.
Just out of curiosity, on the subject of top scorers, Dolby's in 10. There are 2 players on 8 in the league. Could you name either?
Dalziel Maida?
No.
Biggerman?
No.
Hold on, I know this.
Oh, clearly you don't.
Correct. I'm just trying to buy myself some time, Gordon, as you do. I'll probably go for a St Mirren player.
Papagee? No.
Right, forget it. Bruce Anderson.
Oh, that's what I mean.
That's surprising. That is a surprise.
In theory, an obvious one.
Furuhashi.
Kyogo. See the stats pack that the producer makes up for you? It's written in there, so maybe worth just taking a wee look in the future, just to help yourselves out.
We can't trust that.
Yeah,
that's true as well.
There's so much wrong with that.
But I'll tell you what, the decision.
How did you get away with that?
I don't. It's never going to be anything more. It's probably a yellow, and it's certainly a foul from Robin Propper on Martin Boyle.
I don't know how John Beaton's missed that.
Wow,
that's terrible. And Rangers were on the attack.
Goalkeeper sold the jersey there almost. Poor kick out.
I did say yesterday, Mark, I think people shouldn't get too bothered about free kicks not given in the halfway line and stuff, so don't break my own advice, but that was remarkable that Robin Propper got away with that.
Well, considering John Beaton's position, which was pretty close, and we are obviously looking through the lens of the camera that's far away, but us too said, wow, I'm surprised at that, he got away with that.
That's
now when
naughty.
you see it, that's really bad. That's in his ankle, above the ball, and John Beaton doesn't even give a foul for that. Wow. Yeah, position was good as well. Don't think he could say he was too far away.
Anyway, Hibs 1, Rangers 2, 50 minutes gone. Rangers started the first half very brightly indeed. They've got more possession, it's a bit more controlled at the start of this second half, but Hibs are also looking to get in behind and try and cause some problems like they did for much of the first half.
Yeah, Hibs have went back to that. Instead of back 3, the back 5, and try to plug the gaps and not allow Rangers to play through them as they come through here. Good defending.
Good last ditch tackle.
Yeah, they're getting bodies round about now rather than what they did in the
Hibs
first
just
half.
trying to be too intricate though and clearing the ball, and it's going to fall again. And it's a good save. Igaman almost a hat trick. Hibs had about three opportunities to clear the ball quite easily as well, and didn't take it, and Igaman sees his shot saved.
Well, it's not the player you want the ball to fall to there, because he's a man banging form, but a terrible touch as it Cadden just puts her right into his path, and Hibs lucky to get away with that.
How many chances has Hibs got to get rid of that ball there? And nearly put the game out of sight.
Well, Cherney's going to whip the corner in anyway, and it's headed away, but only as far as the edge of the box, and it's deflected and it goes straight into the arms of Jordan Smith in the end, which
he's having a good afternoon.
Yeah, I go back to my praise of the goalkeeper. Hibs have had problems all season, but he's had no chance whatsoever with either of Rangers' goals, and everything else above and beyond that he's done well.
Jeffrey did brilliantly there, because I thought he was going to put it out for a throw in down level with Rangers' own 18-yard box, but he managed to keep it in, and it allows Rangers just to build something rather than having to defend.
Well, they are certainly not the Rangers of the first 20 minutes in this game. It's all come back a bit to haunt them, and they're now a bit suspect in places.
They're in the territory of what most teams do when Rangers go away from home. They sit deep, you get people behind the ball, and they ask them to break them down. And I think that's where Rangers' big problem is this season away from home.
Hibs are readying a change. Maybe one of those where a player is struggling a bit and they get the first 5 minutes to run it off, or however the phrase goes.
Do you know who it is?
I don't yet, but it would be surprising if he's gone tactical already. If that is the case, why not do it at half time?
Yeah.
But we'll take a look. No real suggestion yet, but you can always tell when there's a bit of movement and shirts are getting put on and so on, and shin pads. And I'm still very surprised at Hibs' failure to clear the ball when they've got it. They're making life very difficult for themselves.
Right, I'm throwing in an annoying thing in football nowadays. See, if you're a sub, you should be ready to go on the pitch. That's my annoying thing. See, if I was a manager now and I seen a player running in for a jersey or putting shin pad, you'd be sit back down.
I take your point. I don't think he's doing that, because obviously the coaching staff also then want to get the clipboard out, don't they, and give you all their advice. I don't think there's anything untoward. It's just they're getting ready for the change, and it looks like it will be Mariah Welsh coming on. So in the midfield somewhere, or certainly more defensive role.
You would imagine there must be a little niggle or something, because you wouldn't change it just after half time.
Yeah, I mean, it's particularly early as well, isn't it?
There's that ball again.
Yeah, Rangers are in down the right hand side. Great sliding challenge. Is that Lewis Miller?
Lewis Miller
does really well.
Yeah, it's a good ball, great ball through.
But you've got to ask, how easy is that? It's just it's a run of the mill run. It's a good run through, and Rangers have actually got two players going on that.
To be fair, I think Miller, he's a wee bit behind Barami, but at least he follows him this time. And Bashiri's too square on. He doesn't even see the run coming. I think when you're a centre back, and especially the central one, you've got to look around you and have a bit of communication with your right side.
And it is Kwon. Don't know if it's injury related. Doesn't look particularly injured and doesn't look impressed to be coming off. But Nathan Mariah Welsh comes on. He's not played since the 27th of October in the Edinburgh Derby, so it's quite an atmosphere, or quite an occasion to be thrown back in. You may remember his fairly wild lunge that got him sent off against Rangers at Easter Road last season. So straight back on. Jacket from Kwon grabbed and straight down the tunnel. So unless he is going for treatment and has to go down, but no, he didn't look,
maybe a bit unhappy.
He didn't look injured, did he?
No, he did not.
And I wonder if he's got a case mark. I don't think he's played badly.
He's done fine. I think maybe one or two stray passes in the opening stages of the game, but I think everybody in the Hibs jersey was guilty of that. No, he's been okay. He's been fine.
So 55 then on the clock. Rangers go for the big diagonal, and it's cut out by Mariah Welsh, but he's not going to be able to keep it in.
He could actually take that in his chest maybe.
Do you know something? I was going to say that, but I didn't think you'd agree with me. I looked at that and I thought,
when has that ever stopped you?
Just speak your mind. Don't be scared.
He's having a good day. For Andy's listening to radio, he's doing the actions. Look behind me. He's actually turning and doing the full.
He's a coach
animated
these days.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He's a modern coach nowadays.
The low block. And
do you get any coaching manuals for Christmas?
None. I don't need any. I know all.
Any football related gifts whatsoever?
No,
at your
no, my
age?
family wouldn't.
No?
No, my family wouldn't even dare.
Any hill walking gifts?
Couple of pair of socks and stuff like that will come in handy.
Listen, he just asked this year for money because he had to buy that ring.
A GoFundMe page.
Awkward when she gave him money for Christmas to put towards it. So no football related gifts at your age and stage.
No, okay. Nothing like that. No, you.
Well, do you know what? Now that I think,
do you get any radio equipment? Headphones in it?
You get Motherwell jammies.
Oh, I got a new Motherwell strip.
Yeah, it's
off Santa.
Off Bad Santa in here.
Daddy Claus.
Oh dear.
Oh, that's a terrible way of looking at it.
But other than that, you're probably right. Because the thing is, nowadays you don't buy DVDs or anything the way you used to. Saying that, usually a wee football book.
What was the highlight of your Christmas present?
I got a good travel mug for my coffee. That's my favourite.
Oh, nice.
Brilliant, really extravagant.
Yeah. Laptops and everything. You talk about a travel mug.
Got some new golf clubs, but I didn't want to go in high, did I?
Lovely.
Nice.
I wanted to just give credit to a good electric toothbrush as well while we're at it.
You had a good Christmas.
Brilliant, honestly.
God almighty.
What about you? Any football gifts for you, for a man who hates football?
No, not a thing. Nobody would dare give me a football gift.
Did you get any gifts?
Yeah, I didn't get. Yeah, I got one. It's going to cost me money in the long run.
Anyway, enough about that. Hibs 1, Rangers 2. What was your favourite Christmas gift, Hugh? You've been rocking quite a few polo necks since Christmas. I'm wondering if any of them are new.
Our older Daniel O'Donnell.
The yesterday that zipper thing yesterday, I quite like that.
Zipper
thing. You looked fashionable yesterday.
Maybe look like James McFadden.
Yeah, ball whipped in, and Martin Boyle, he was battling with Rangers defenders. You're always in a bit of a lottery there just to see where it drops, and it didn't quite drop for the Hibs attacker, and Dujon Sterling just puts his body in. It doesn't.
Yeah, good defending from Rangers. Good ball in.
It's
it's a completely different complexion to the
a
match
little bit, Hugh, isn't it?
Well, Hibs will put balls in your box constantly. If it goes to one card, and he'll just whip it in. So Rangers are having to deal with that. They've done okay apart from the goal, but they're going to have to be up to the challenge for the rest of it.
Good defending.
Great tackle, Diamande.
Man who's outstanding against Celtic, Yanis Hadji. Hardly noticed him.
Yeah, you're right, Hugh. It's a good shout. He's not been involved much at all. It's good play from Hibs.
Penalty to Hibs.
Yeah.
John Beaton took his time, and
Hadji.
of course VAR can have a look, but then it has to be a clear and obvious error. And on first viewing,
he gets caught on the wrong side, Gordon.
You'd be surprised.
He gets caught on the wrong side.
Yeah,
it's a penalty kick.
Yeah.
Certainly one that you would be surprised if it was overturned. Is that fair?
I would.
Hold on though. Does Campbell's legs go in between those? Oh, that's difficult. That one.
The more you see it,
it's a difficult one. You're right.
John Beaton did seem absolutely convinced.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be overturned.
Is it enough to overturn it? Because
it's always a harder bar, isn't it?
But I'll tell you what, I would not blame anybody if the Rangers side had an argument with it, but I don't think it'll be overturned.
I think what doesn't help Yanis Hadji is he is caught wrong side.
Yeah.
You made the point earlier about people chasing their bad touches, and I think when Hadji, and he kind of leans into the back of him though as well.
Yeah, with the arm. So I think that's enough for the referee to think, he's influenced Campbell's run, because it's good play. Ball into Gale, Campbell runs off him. He looks like he's going to get there, and Hadji's certainly.
It's just a typical midfielder forward being too late to recognise the danger.
Hugh, what about that though? You're saying that Hadji's never been seen, and within 10 seconds he's given away a penalty.
Because I know we'll do this, and inevitably we'll have a big debate about it afterwards. There is such a thing as like a marginal decision that probably could go one way or the other, Hugh. We never stop to acknowledge that. We act like everything is either the biggest howler we've ever seen or it's completely nailed on.
Well, I always think
it's an interesting one.
I always think you have to be guided by the referee, and John Beaton had no doubt at all.
Well, it's never getting overturned, is it? When you see it's not that type of decision.
But what a big high pressure take for Martin Boyle.
Penalty taker though, and has been for years.
Has he not missed a few?
Yeah, because he's taken a lot. But here we go, Martin Boyle, and he steps up.
Goal flashes with M&D Green Pharmacy.
Hibs 2, Rangers 2 on the hour mark. Martin Boyle smashes his penalty down the middle. Liam Kelly dived, and we have a serious game on our hands at Easter Road.
All of a sudden, it's every bad dream Rangers have ever had on the road. Is this going to be the 7th venue of the season where they leave points behind? A terrific penalty, terrific composure from Martin Boyle, as good as his first goal. So we've got Boyle with 2, Iggerman with 2, and Rangers have started to look like the Rangers who played games prior to Thursday against Celtic.
They're a great saying in football: when you're taking a penalty, just put your laces through it. He absolutely smashed that into the back of the net.
Good saying, I like that. It's catchy. Get the laces through it.
Get the laces through it. Give the goalkeeper no chance whatsoever. All of a sudden, the mood in Easter Road's changed completely.
A real test of character now for Rangers players. Never mind the manager, because the manager's set up the same and he's got the same personnel. I said beforehand, it's about the players. Now they got themselves into a 2-goal lead and were flying, but again, the slightest bit of adversity and they seem to struggle with it. Now this is going to be a big test for 30 minutes now, because Hibs in the ascendancy. Can Rangers wrestle this back off them and score a goal. They're capable. When you've got Bashiri and Miller at the back for Hibs, there's going to be chances, but the Rangers players got it in them to get ahead again.
They were oozing self-confidence at the start of this game, and it's evaporated.
What a game of football.
It's just been brilliant.
Really good.
I've got to say, Hugh, I think that David Gray takes a little bit of credit, right? Because I was questioning, would they go to a back four? What he'd done was quite simply kept his shape, and he got his two wing backs to go a bit deeper and stop Rangers getting in behind. And so far it's working for him. But I agree with Mark. I still think there's goals in this game, no doubt.
It's a very good game, you have to say. I don't think Rangers fans will be enjoying it too much right now, but for us looking for entertainment value, we're getting it. Rangers were 2-0 up. They were really, really cruising, purely because it looked like they could score every time they went up the pitch. Hibs were so shaky at the back, but they've steadied that. They've added their attacking threat, and I don't think we would grudge them being level.
No, you couldn't possibly. Rangers' best period, first 25 minutes of the first half, and when adversity came along, they started to have self-doubts, and they have yet to snap out of that.
Their influential players have dropped out the game, Hugh.
Yeah.
You know, we've not seen Tierney on the ball. Man's not really built up. Barami, I can't remember last time he done anything. You know, they've went completely the other way, and it's all down to Hibs, and credit to the home side. They've really, dug deep, because this game could have got away from them even before half time.
Well, it's now
they're right back in.
Most pivotal half hour of the season for Philippe Clement, because he can go from, to use the newspaper expression, hero to zero, because if he drops any points here, he is back in the position he was in prior to the Celtic game, with people saying he is not the answer.
Of course, Celtic need to do their job later, so we'll see what happens there for the visit of St Mirren. It's hard to take your eyes off this. If the fixture list is, you're thinking it's a straightforward one, it's not, because Motherwell Aberdeen is 2:30, so it's kind of in between, which is nice for us. I think it fills that little gap between this one finishing and the 3 o'clock starting.
If Rangers drop anything here,
there we are. That's lovely from Rangers. The goalkeeper's come out, he's not fully got there, but it's on the edge of the flag is up anyway. There we go.
If Rangers drop anything here, Celtic Park becomes electrified. The fans have been in a surly mood since Thursday, but if Rangers drop anything, it will give the Celtic fans a chance to say, told you so, told you. A one-off blip.
I don't even think they would care, Hugh, about this. I think the Celtic fans are firmly focused on their own team's poor performance and how they can respond. I think if it was closer in the title race, there would be cheers going along to Celtic Park, but I think it's the Rangers fans who look at this and go, what is going on again? We can't go in the space of 4 or 5 days from absolute world beaters to nervous wrecks again.
But in the world of bragging rights in which we live, the Celtic fans will be on here 5 o'clock saying, told you so, you all thought that,
back in their box sort of thing. But there's a lot that still needs to happen, because Lewis Miller's made a mess of it and Yanis Hadji's in. It's cut back behind everybody though.
You know what, I'm enjoying watching this guy now, because you never know what you're going to get from him. That's as simple as an interception as you can see, and he slips
a bit,
to try and get it in Rangers win.
He's done some good things since his ropey start.
He has done some good things, but
great ball.
Great ball. And it's a big chance for Hibs. It was a great ball. Chris Cadden, actually a really good header. Dwight Gale, good in the sense of the connection, but it was just too central.
He must have fancied that. What a ball. He swept that the inside his foot. He's got in front of Sterling. Anywhere either side of the goalkeeper, that's rustling the back of it.
Right. The delivery is so difficult when he's in the pitch and it's moving and he has to get the right angle, and it's so difficult to get that right. It's a brilliant run from Gale and a great opportunity.
Well, Rangers might have issues here because Dujon Sterling is limping and they are dreadfully short at the back as it is. Insiala and Leon King would be the two centre backs on the bench. Clearly Philippe Clement
struggling,
has tried not to use either of those, hence why Sterling's in there, and
is it one that he's got to
right
just
back.
run off? Is he going to run this off, Mark?
He's not one who manages to stay fit for long, is he?
He doesn't.
No.
I feel sorry for him. I think there's definitely a player in there. I feel sorry that he gets moved about positions, but his injury record is as poor as mine was, which is unfortunate for the lad.
It's quite a good idea when you're limping about and you get the ball passed right to you.
How stupid is that? You know, you can clearly see your teammates struggling.
Give him it for 5 minutes.
Hibs are really full of confidence just now.
Yeah, they're actually passing it about quite well.
This is going to come in the Rangers box again, no
Lewis
doubt about
Miller
it.
lines one up. And he stings the palms of Liam Kelly. The only thing this game is missing is a 30-yard screamer from Lewis Miller, who you lot have slaughtered.
But that you could expect that from him, because he's
a mixed bag.
He's entertainment, this guy.
How old is he? Is he young?
Relatively young, yeah.
You know, he's just.
That's a brilliant strike. Brilliant strike, because the ball's moving away from him. Gets in target.
24.
MD with that haircut is full of confidence. Look, he'll make a bag of mistakes, but he's been a big player.
Chance for Hibs again.
Yeah, Rangers
in the six.
Rangers are all over the place here.
Not sure about Josh Campbell's ball. Back in, and header hits the post.
It's Miller again.
Lewis Miller hits the post.
Man of the match.
And it bounces right back into the arms of Liam Kelly. Hibs are centimetres away from taking the lead.
It's hit the foot of the post though. It bounced down and back into Liam Kelly's hands. What a letter for Rangers.
What a game this is, Hugh Keevins.
Yeah, and the tide has turned, and now it's Hibs who look the likelier of the two teams. Incredible bad luck there for Lewis Miller. They've also had the other one that was saved by Liam Kelly. Rangers had better do something about this quickly, because the game has turned and Dujon Sterling goes down again.
He's finished. He's gone. You get down twice, you ain't getting back up.
It's round about a year. It would be the year anniversary of, I'm not sure if I told you this at the time, working for Sky. We took Lewis Miller and Kai Rolls, both Australian, both playing for opposite sides in Edinburgh, and it was the New Year derby, so we took them to Portobello Beach to give them like an Australian Christmas on the beach sort of thing.
Right, okay.
So they had like Santa hats on, and there was a barbecue with some like really low budget frozen prawns and burgers and stuff, and we had a bit of fun and filmed it, and it turned out nice. And then the very next game, but before the derby, before it had even had the chance to go out, he missed the game due to food poisoning.
Oh no.
My heart sank. I thought, but do you know what? Then we thought back. He didn't touch the food, I don't think. I think it was unrelated. But for a brief moment, we had visions that we had poisoned him before the game took place. Leon King is going to come on along with Danilo and Oscar Cortez.
Wow.
Well, they need a change. I know they're forced into the centre back change, but Rangers need something else to change the way this game is going.
Barami, I said, I've not seen him.
Anonymous.
Centre. Yeah, I'm not surprised at that.
Hadji
as
off.
well.
Yeah. Amazing.
Leon King has not played a single minute for Rangers first team this season. He played at the end of last season, the game, remember, at Tynecastle, the 3 each game. Do you remember that at the end of the season? He started that one, but really not a lot of football. 6 appearances last season and none this season.
His appearance is enforced because Dujon Sterling simply cannot continue. But with Hadji going off, it shows that Philippe Clement is saying those who were outstanding on Thursday are now not so outstanding on Sunday, and we are in a position of real danger here. So he needs to completely revamp the side.
He's got 6, so no appearances this season, Gordon, and 6 in more than a year and a half. That's an incredible. It just shows where Rangers, I mean, I take Hugh's point, of course it's forced, but it shows where Rangers are at here.
Yeah, and it's a big moment for him. He's been thrown into the deep end. Not a lot of game time under his belt, as you quite rightly say, Gordon. But I'm not surprised that Clement's rang the changes. They're all over the place. If anybody's got to score, it's Hibs. But the one good thing, if you're a Rangers supporter or you're Clement, you always think this Hibs team can give you a chance, right? But you've got to keep the ball out the other end, because they look the more dangerous team.
An annoying one for Hibs, because there was a long ball through and Proper eventually put it out for a corner, but it had taken a touch off John Beaton. and he has to bring it back. I can see Hibs are moaning about it, but you can't really let that go.
Players, again, the things that you've disliked, the players never understand the rules.
I think
you know
often
what, I didn't see it coming off beating myself.
They would have though.
Maybe
they would have.
but I like him having a bit of humour with the players there and having a laugh.
He tried to duck it, hit him in the back.
See if I'm going to ask the rule. See if you're a Hibs player and you play that ball and it hits Beaton in the back and it goes to another Hibs player, can he play that on?
No, as soon as it hits the ref.
No, because if you watched him, he seemed to play that on and then brought it back. And I thought that was the rule the minute it hit him. But if it hits him and goes to the same player,
I think they generally just stop it now when it hits them. But no, I think he's obviously tried to take that into account.
But how finely poised is all of this? You know, it's astonishing. A game that started as if it was going to be a procession for Rangers, 2 up inside 20 minutes, and now Philippe Clement is back in the dock, and the jury are getting ready to pass the guilty verdict unless Rangers get a third goal here.
Is that the problem though? I mean, despite how good Thursday was, should we really believe, should anyone, particularly the Rangers players or anyone, believe Rangers are all of a sudden good enough to have a procession through a game, you know, Easter Road? Is that maybe part of the issue?
At 2-0, even the Dazzler was agreeing that this could be anything, he said.
No, I know it's hindsight and now knowing what we do, but by the way, that is dreadful from Hibs. They've been in the ascendancy and they might just undo it. Mariah Welsh,
dreadful as well,
but
it's
Rangers. Well done, Bashiri.
Not afraid you hear often.
Oh, here we go. Cherney's into the box, across. It's a brilliant game, you have to say. Rangers haven't attacked a lot recently. We've really not seen them, but they're in about the box at this moment in time. Cherney's in there, and Diomande, even that forced change they made at the back, they've made 2 others in attack.
Great ball.
And there we go.
Goal flashes with M&D Green Pharmacy.
Hat-trick for Hamza Igaman, and Rangers are back in front. Hibs have looked the more likely to take the lead. That shows big character from Rangers. Hibs 2, Rangers 3.
What did I tell you about if you're a Rangers player, fan or manager? You know they're under a cosh, but Hibs will always give up chances. What a hat-trick for the boy.
If ever perseverance was justified, Igamani is the case in point, because when he came and Rangers said he's just nowhere near the standard of football, and everyone of course then followed up with, well, why did you sign him? But they have persevered with him, and you know, he looks a real find.
Hibs will be furious, Mark, at Nathan Mariah Welsh, because for the pretty much all of this half they've been the better team. He's not really under much pressure. He's gone back towards his own goal and he passes it straight to Rangers, and it sets a chain of events. However, the positives are Hamza Igaman, a hat-trick. He cannot stop scoring.
No, he's been a brilliant find for Rangers in a time where they needed somebody up top to stand up and play like a proper Rangers striker, and he's got the flair, he's got the swagger, but he's got the goals to back that up as well. And it's amazing how similar that goal is to his first goal.
Yeah, very similar.
Only from the other side. Only this time it's Cherney who does very well to cut that back, and he gets across the front post, puts it in with his right, and he saves Rangers for now anyway, because it looked like Rangers were falling out of this.
What makes a goal, Mark? See if you look at his movement. I don't know who the defender is. The defender thinks he's in charge of this, and next minute he just comes across him, side foot, goalkeeper, no chance, put your team back in front.
Igamani already looks like he could be the top goal scorer this season. That's 7 goals. And he just looks dynamite in front of the goal.
He's got a good knack in the box, Hugh. You can tell he comes alive in that 18-yard box. His movement's good.
Hibs actually had a couple of good chances to build again and get in behind down the left, but Triantis will give him the benefit of the doubt. Does it sit up and he just passes it straight out the pitch?
No, I think Mariah Welsh just before that as well had a better opportunity to play someone in, but he just hits the Rangers player. He's having a nightmare since he's come on. Yeah, no one to remember for him so far.
But what a tremendous start to our Super Sunday.
Would you rule out a Hibs equaliser?
No, I couldn't do that, because it's been that kind of game. But I wouldn't rule out a fourth for Rangers either.
Yeah, I agree with you, Hugh. As much as Hibs will still be a threat, they'll keep going. Listen, we witnessed a great game with Hibs and Aberdeen not that long ago. This could go the exact same way, but I would not be surprised. Hibs will need to come out now in the next 15 minutes and try and really throw everything at it. I wouldn't be surprised Rangers go and just sneak that fourth and put it to bed.
Does really knock the wind out your sails if you're a Hibs player just now, because you're in the ascendancy. You've created a few chances, you hit the post, you've forced the goalkeeper into a save or two, and then all of a sudden one chance up the other end, you're 3-2 behind again. And I'm with the guys, you wouldn't put it past Rangers. are just picking them off here.
Because if you're David Gray, you're probably happy with what, from minute 20 up to minute 70 something. Actually quite a large portion of the game, but the damage you do to yourself out with that is what sees Rangers in front.
Again, I'm surprised we keep going on about Hibs defending, but when Tierney moves that ball, and again you look at it and you've got 3 centre backs all doing the same thing, retreating to their 6-yard line. At least one of them's got to take responsibility and kind of step onto the ball. And Eagleman's he's the quickest to it. He's the only one that's aware of the situation, and they've been punished. So that's the frustrating part, because you work in things like that in training time after time.
And even if you don't, can you just learn from what happened in the first half?
Exactly.
Where all the defenders go towards their goal and he's the one that hangs out the way?
Well, he must have spoke about it, because 2 goals came from that in the first half. So you must speak about that.
So I've got sympathy, Gordon, for defences when, if it's like a break and then everyone's running back towards their own goal, and then it's hard to to sort of readjust. But I think they're there again. They're in position, if you like, or they should be, certainly.
Look, it is very, very poor defending from Hibs. That's the sort of team they are. But take nothing away from the movement from Rangers. Big man in the box, he times it perfectly, and when he gets there, there's only one outcome: good side foot, calm, composed. That's what I like about him. There's just a confidence about him that believes in his ability to put the ball in the back of the net, and he's just getting better and better.
Yeah, there's certainly no doubt who's number 1 pick now. I mean, Danilo and Dessers can forget it.
That's a brilliant run, that, from Triantis. Really,
I thought he was
really
going
good.
to go the full way there.
He slalomed in and out, and Hibs have got a free kick. It's sort of wide midway inside the half.
Yeah, great from Triantis, but a wee bit easy for a Rangers point of view. You've got them going towards the touchline. One of them's got to make contact with him, and they've given away a free kick in a similar position to where Hibs actually got their goal from, their first goal. So this will go to the back. Miller's at the back again. It's going to be hung up. Oh no, it's whipped across this time.
It's not a great ball that time. Easy for Rangers to defend.
But just hang that up again to the back post for Miller
all day, especially when you've got the height in there. Sterling's off the pitch.
Not a good touch from Diamande. Rangers had a good chance to break.
So open again.
Yeah, very open. You suspect there will be another goal, given the way both teams are giving up space here.
Question mark is who will get it.
Well, Rangers have dug deep already. It went back to 2-2. They survived the ball that came off the base of the post. They had a header saved by Liam Kelly. Hibs were at that point looking the favourites to score, but Rangers dug deep, and that's why they're 3-2. But an awful lot of football still to be played.
Because nothing says dig deep more than Hibs as well, coming back from 2-0 down. They won't want it all to be in vain. They were close there to sliding one through in the box, but it was just cut out from Josh Campbell.
Yeah, they've had some good little passages of play, Hibs. When they get in the final third, inventive, try to pull Rangers back 4 apart so they can get runners in between them. And they varied their play as well, because time after time we've seen it going wide and coming in the box, and again into the box.
Yeah, there's half-hearted
nothing in that.
No
claims, I think, but
offside anyway.
If you're a Hibs fan, you've got to commend your team. They can do no more than come back from 2 down. They've been unfortunate with the one that came off the post, and they're still in this looking for an equaliser. So they looked as if they were going to be humiliated for 20 minutes in the first half, but they've made a real game of it, both teams.
There's some call from the linesman. He might just be off. The linesman's the other side through a ruck of bodies. Just play that on. Well, that tells you how Rangers feel about trying to shore things up, because Václav Černý goes off and Connor Barron comes on.
Now £600,000 worth of Connor Barron.
Is that how much it was, Hugh?
Yeah, that's the Tribunal. Aberdeen have complained about it, but I dare say the Tribunal's decision is final.
So Diamandi's sort of gone out to the right, Gordon, where Cherney was.
Yeah, they've just gone a little bit more solid. Look, they'd be delighted to get out here 3-2, no doubt. But they know that Hibs will throw everything at them, so they're just extra midfield player in there. Defensive midfield, Barron will just sit with Askin and try to control it there as Hibs come down the right hand side.
Yeah, Martin Boyle, he would fancy his chances of racing Proper, but Proper just gets there in time.
Does.
Yeah, because you see that match-up, and even if you're Proper, you're thinking, I need to make a tackle quickly here, otherwise he's in.
Crossing chance for Hibs. It's flashed across. It's another Hibs corner. They've had a few today.
Good defending from Raskin though. Front post area.
I'd love to see how many
crosses.
Corners.
This is number 9, I think.
Well, add that to the crosses that both captains have put in, and it goes back to what I said beforehand. Rangers are going to have to deal with a different threat this afternoon, with balls coming in their box constantly, and that's proved to be the case. They've got another one here though.
Yeah, and it's another decent one, and it's a goal.
Goal flashes.
No, is it a free kick? Is it given?
Green Pharmacy.
As it stands, it's Hibs 3, Rangers 3. Rocky Bushiri, the man with it. We said earlier his goal against Aberdeen was one of the turning points in the Scottish Premiership season. How big could this one be? As always, you leave room for the potential inquest, but as things stand, it's Hibs 3, Rangers 3. Hugh Keevins.
Sensational game. Rocky Bushiri, he created one goal for Martin Boyle. He has now scored a goal. It's a straightforward goal for me. I don't think there's any need for any VAR intervention. It's a powerful header from Bushiri, and Rangers are back in the melting pot here, and Philippe Clement is back in the melting pot.
It's a brilliant header from Bushiri. It's a brilliant ball, but a brilliant header from the middle of the 6-yard box. He's up above King so high, gets such a clean connection. The goalkeeper, I mean, I don't know what he's thinking of there, Liam Kelly. He comes out 2 fists, but he's getting nowhere near that.
I'm struggling to see much
wrong with
untoward with it, Gordon.
2 players go down. Rangers
you
player
can never
Hibs
tell,
player. But I can't see much wrong with that. I think it'll stand. I think just 2 players going for it. But you're right, I think Kelly came out and gave it that famous shout, keepers away. And
you do know no one shouted that since 1982.
No, that's famous. It still is.
It used to be
keepers away.
But
when you
by
know
the way,
you're
he
not
might
getting
be
it.
right, because Kelly's came out with 2 fists and he's nowhere near it. But give credit to Bushiri for the power, the leap, because he gets so far above the Rangers defender. It's incredible.
This is a classic, Hugh. I don't know if we will reach the 5-5. Remember that day?
That was
the road between the sides.
He was the manager there.
Yeah, I don't think we'll reach it, but
it's the most important 5 minutes plus whatever's added on for Philippe Clement, because if Rangers undo their own good work from the game against Celtic on Thursday, he's back under pressure in the eyes of the Rangers supporters. These last 5 minutes are crucial for Rangers, because they are on the verge of going back into a place where people are going to say, nah, they'll never be good enough to win the league.
It's amazing how games are different. You don't give the best team in the league with the best front 3 a sniff at the goals on Thursday.
Yeah.
And now you've lost 3 at Easter Road.
But we said it, didn't we? It is such a different tactical challenge. It just is.
Yeah, totally agree.
And I'll tell you what, Hibs are not settling for the 3. Because bearing in mind, Rangers have made the change to shore it up. You now don't have Cherney to go and try and get you the winner. You've got Connor Barron instead, who may well do it, but on paper wouldn't be as well equipped.
But the tactical challenge for Rangers was that back 4 that were thrown together and they play again today. But Celtic never tested them. They never put it in behind. They never tried to beat that first press. They never put crosses into the box. Hibs have done all that today, and they've put that back 4 under stress, and they've come out with 3 goals so far. Not even sure the scoring's done yet, because we'll have another 10 minutes to play.
Well, I said it was like the Aberdeen game, didn't it, a few weeks ago. This has got everything in it.
Well, we've given Bushiri, and people do give Bushiri a terrible time.
There you go again. A ball that turns the back 4, Boyle's in.
That's going to be a free kick just outside the box. Robin Proper. Martin Boyle did brilliantly, because he drew a really strange attempt to win the ball from Jefty, who just tries to sort of climb on Boyle's back.
To be fair, Jeffy can't do it, and Boyle's been clever there.
I think Jeffy can go down the side and just delay him. He tries to jump and he's back.
Look at the way Boyle goes in towards him. So I think that's good play.
Robin Proper missing the game against Dundee, according to the caption.
And Dujan Sterling will miss it as well, by the look of it.
And so does Raskin. Suspended from the booking of
I don't think they're worried about
game.
Dundee. I think they're worried about getting out of here.
Yeah. If I was Cadden here, I'd go for goal.
Right, I'm talking.
His left foot is so good.
Kelly.
Yeah, he's in a wide area, but I would go right across him and look for the slightest touch.
Yeah, one of the famous McFadden twins, as Gordon Dalziel christened them on here a few months ago.
What one's the oldest?
As in who came out first?
Yeah,
can't remember.
He has.
But it's saved by Liam Kelly.
By the way, that's where he needs a striker right in front of him. There's so much power.
He'd have been offside.
You think so?
Yeah,
it's just a wee touch.
If he was right in front,
I'd be nailing you if I'd taken that.
You're not really looking to go kind of far post there.
Oh, I'd want my striker just a wee nick right across the face.
You now,
sometimes they can go straight in. I mean, whereas that's not going straight in because it's down Kelly's throat.
Here he comes.
If there's one man that could win it, it could be Igaman. He's just danced towards the end of the box. Bashiri heads it away.
He's grown into a game, isn't he?
It's amazing.
He's grown into a game. I'm going to tell you, I see next time I ever meet David Gray, I'm going to say, I'll give you the best bit of advice in the world. Put him up front, number 9 is back. He will win you games for fun.
Look at Bashiri here though. He's cleared the ball, but he's fixing his hairband as the action's still going on.
I like that.
You've got to look good.
Characters. And talk about characters, all credit to Hibs. They've showed great character today.
But they still have minutes to get that character going again, because the game's not over. We don't know who will score a fourth goal. Could be either side, but Hibs would be devastated to have done all that they've done to come back into this game if they were to lose a belated goal.
Got to say, the two front men for each side have been outstanding. Boyle and Igaman have been, I mean, just the standout performers. Igaman obviously with a hat-trick.
It was a race to get to the hat-trick, wasn't it?
Well, just a wee flashes of skill as well, and link-up play from the young
good
striker.
play for Hibs.
This is really good from Hibs, stringing it across the pitch under pressure.
You would not have imagined they could have finished the game like this after 20 minutes.
Move it side to side, well, to
be fair, Hugh, look, we were hard on you, but you did say Rangers would score 3.
Yes.
You
I
failed
got
to
the other
mention
part
that
wrong.
Hibs would score 3.
Yeah.
Listen,
one eye open.
After 20 minutes, we had how many Rangers were going to win by. They're now holding on.
Yeah, it's an ambitious flicked pass through from Hibs, the one I don't think they needed to.
Now here he comes. And he
has. Bashiri's been robbed. Igaman's racing towards the edge of the box. He might have to bring him down. And Igaman has hit the post. What an incredible end to this one.
I cannot believe this guy. I honestly,
he's arguably the worst defender you've ever seen.
I told you he's a centre forward. He's not a defender.
He is hopeless.
Rocky Bashiri. I hate to laugh, but Bashiri, it bounces in the halfway line. He's facing his own goal. I think he forgets Igaman is standing right beside him.
Mate,
he just robs him. And by the way, he's lucky he doesn't give away a penalty. Igaman does brilliant to take his touch away, and he is inches away from winning it for Rangers and claiming his 4th.
It's been game of the season so far.
It's
been absolutely brilliant.
But as long as Bashiri's on the park, Rangers have a real chance.
Right, I would have him up the other end of the park. I would rather play Martin Boyle at centre half and put him at centre forward. He is just a disaster waiting to
play
happen.
Susan Boyle at centre half.
Well, it's all fed into a
added
game.
on. 4 minutes to be added. It's Hibs 3, Rangers 3. We have enjoyed one of the games of the season. Is there a final twist yet? Nicholas Raskin trying to put in a captain's performance. He's carried it 30 yards. He's bursting forward. He's found Yilmaz, who's now a right back, of course.
Great little ball.
Flights it in. Bashiri claims for a handball. I don't know.
Don't know.
Tell you what, so many Rangers players claimed there, but is that just a reaction when you're desperate? Don't know if it comes off. Is it Triantis' chest?
I think it was Triantis.
Must be keeper's ball here.
So close.
Right, let's get another look at it. Zooms in on John Beaton. So it's headed right at him from one of his teammates. Yeah, I think he gets his arm up and out of the way, doesn't he?
Yeah, you can't give a penalty for that.
I think he just hits his side. Yeah, play on, says the referee.
Oh, Taylor will be home. Yeah, I was going to say this comes into his box. Just your goalkeeper thinking, please come in the box so I can pick it up with a Hibs striker chasing him down.
It's amazing. I mean, it really isn't over yet. You know, you've got 2.5 minutes of time, added time, still to play, but it's really not over.
I thought it would have been more stoppage time than this, to be honest. You know, with the substitutions and the goals, and I'm disappointed there's only 4 minutes because it's been brilliant to watch.
If you're a Hibs fan, every time the ball goes up near that, your heart would be in your mouth, wouldn't it? It really would. That would be some adrenaline rush.
Have you ever seen anybody as bad as him?
Defending, he's terrible. I watched him running back when Rangers were attacking, and he's back to the goals.
I mean, anybody.
He's back to his. I could not believe it. But listen, seeing the other box, he's a threat. You looked at his touch to set up Boyle. He powers the header in for the equaliser. I'm telling you now.
Tell you what, King's under a bit of pressure here. He does well to get out here.
He's recovered well. I don't think he started well. He recovered well. It is going to be a corner to Hibs.
Hibs have done that great today. Just playing it into an area where Boyle can hurry and harass the centre backs.
I think you called it, Mark. I think the two centre forwards, Hibs and Rangers, have been excellent. You know, you couldn't ask for any more from him, especially Boyle's work rate as well.
Martin Boyle not playing like someone who people said was finished.
How old is Boyle? About 34?
Hold on, here comes the corner first. It's more of a flighted one from Nicky Cadden on the left foot. Chance maybe for Rangers to break, but it is Hibs that keep it alive. Leon King jumps. It's going to be another corner. Almost certain to be another corner
kick. John Beaton. That's as much a corner as you'll ever see.
Let's take another look just in case we're being unfair. So
it comes
like
off
a corner.
Comes off King's head. He does actually well to put Gale off.
Well, anyway, here go Hibs though. One more chance.
Hibs fancy this.
Yilmaz has been robbed by Martin
Hibs
Boyle.
fancies this.
Boyle cuts back, right foot. He's going to shoot from distance, and it goes wide.
He's getting excited.
He ran out of power there, didn't he?
He was getting excited.
Probably should be the last chance of the game. Looking at the clock, Yilmaz poor though from him. Just waits on it. Something you can't do in a game this frantic.
Well, Boyle does well there to rob him, take it so far, but maybe he should have picked another option.
Do you know who I feel really sorry for? Who? Andrew. He's got to take an hour to describe this game.
They've been robbed again, Rangers.
Absolutely everything.
Yep, that's going to be a free kick, you would think.
No, these ones can be easier. Goals only. Get out of there. Don't need to worry about missed chances.
Well, you've got 10 seconds plus whatever.
Just launch us. Yeah,
he's on the halfway line, to be fair.
Launch it.
How long do you think his throw is?
David Gray's told him. There you go.
Throw it as far away. Launching it. Throw it as far away from Bashiri as you can.
And that is it. Full time, Easter Road. Andrew Maclean.
Hibs 3, Rangers 3, the full-time score. An incredible game here at Easter Road with Hamza Egaman scoring a perfect hat-trick, but Rocky Bashiri's late equaliser means Philippe Clement's side's troubles continue on the road. For the first half hour, Rangers picked up where they left off against Celtic. They were dominant, took them just 4 minutes to take the lead. Egaman winning a battle with Bashiri. The ball was worked out to the left for Hadji. His cutback found Egaman free in the centre of the box. He found the bottom of the corner. They continued to threaten. It was all clicking going forward. Jordan Smith had to make saves before Egaman got his second. Barami's cross from the left. Egaman free in the centre of the box again. He flicked a header towards the top corner. It found it, and that was 2-0. It looked as if they would stride their way to victory at that point, but Hibs got back into it through a set piece. Mohamed Diamandi with a foul. That was quickly checked by VAR, but no red card. The deep free kick floated in, headed back across. Rocky Bashiri took it down well, laid it off to Martin Boyle, and he found the bottom corner to get a goal back for Hibs and the hope back for the Hibs supporters. Egaman with a shot just after half time that was saved by Smith. It was a bit more of a reserved start to the half before Josh Campbell got in the Rangers box. Hadji got the wrong side of him, took him down, and it was a penalty to Hibs. Martin Boyle stepped up to take, smashed it down the middle, and that was Hibs level. And then after that, Hibs actually looked the most likely to take the lead. Liam Kelly having to make a couple of saves from Gale and Miller. Miller then hitting the post inches away from putting them ahead. but how quickly football can change. Rangers had barely been forward for the last 15-20 minutes, but Václav Černý got to the byline, cut it back, and Hamza Egeman, as he had been all game, in a great position in the box, near post this time, the finish in front of the travelling support, and they thought they'd won the game, but the action wasn't over. A Hibs corner curled in, Liam Kelly came for it, didn't get close. Rocky Bashiri with a powerful header into the top corner to level things up again. Then in the final minute of the 90, Rangers thought they'd nicked it. Egeman robbing Bashiri, making his way towards goal, battling with the defender. He did really well, got the shot away, and it rolled almost in slow motion towards goal, but clipped it outside of the post and went out for a goal kick. A bit of a skirmish there at the end between some of the players after the full-time whistle went, but what a game. The points shared at Easter Road. The full-time score, Hibs 3, Rangers 3.
Well, Hugh Keevins, what a week this has been. How do you sum that up?
I sum it up by saying that Rangers are back to where they started before the Celtic game. All the good work done on Thursday has been undone. This is the 7th venue at which Rangers have dropped points on the road this season. Philippe Clement is back in the dock. Celtic Park will be an entirely different place following this result. Celtic will take care of business against St Mirren. The lead is now 10 points. If Celtic win, it's 13 points. Philippe Clement going to Dundee on Thursday night, minus Dujon Sterling, minus Rascan because of suspension, and minus Robin Proper because of suspension. So they have another tremendous night on the road to look forward to, or perhaps not. But this undoes everything that Rangers did against Celtic.
Quite a remarkable game of football. I'll give credit to Hibs. They were 2-0 down, going on 3-4, whatever you liked, and they dragged themselves back into it. And even to go 3-2 down and get an equaliser, terrific. For Rangers though, it's more of the same, and the Rangers fans will be bored of hearing it, they'll be bored of seeing it. There has got to be progression somewhere, and everyone thought it would be 3-0 against Celtic. They would take the next step on and the next step against Dundee. But once again, it's another step backwards for Philippe Clement.
Absolutely loved it. I think credit to both teams. It was such a good game, Gordon. Entertainment. If you're a neutral watching that, it's great. 6 goals, all the action, hitting the post, everything. But if you're a Rangers fan, you go away from home, you score 3 goals and you don't pick up all the 3 points. That's disappointing. But I think Mark touched on it. All credit to Hibs. At 2-0, we all thought they were dead and buried. They showed a lot of character. They come back. Great game.
Oh, what a day. And it does, of course, for now move Rangers 1 point closer to Celtic, but a missed opportunity perhaps. It is a draw at Easter Road. Celtic have the chance to respond, and we have got 5 other big games coming right around the corner. If they're half as good as that one, we are in for a treat, and we'll go round the grounds for team news next.
The fastest goals, the experts' opinions. This is Clyde One Super Scoreboard. The Clyde One Super Scoreboard podcast with Lookers Group. The Lookers Big Event. Thousands of great value used vehicles ready to drive away.
At William Hill Vegas, we're bursting with entertainment. Introducing V-Play, where revealing rewards couldn't be easier. Play your usual slots and table games featuring the V-Play icon. And when the V-Play bar's full, you're ready to spin the wheel for cash prizes. V-Play, only at William Hill Vegas. Bursting with entertainment. For GBP online accounts, use cash balance to play. Chance to spin and win prizes from £30p to £1,000 randomly awarded. Spin and claim within 7 days. T&Cs apply. 18 plus, gamble aware.